I've never stepped in Jubilee House before in my life. Parliament House, mintia hoda. Me who Professor Nano Poko Ajimanda. Me who Azedun Ketiada. Me who Fifi Kweteda. Me who 90% of people in power, I've not seen them before. And I don't even want to see them. My wife's family is they are wealthy. Me, I've worked at a jewelry shop before. You think it's a joke? Because my man, my Americans. They can fight for what they want. It's here in America. Now you said John Mahama and go for plane. Now you said that form. Or you say, Bibi the CNT John Mahama uncle. Are you mad? A coup for the Tina Ghana be the president. First time Obana hanky boninsa. Second time Obana no ring. Third time no kuta horn. Fourth time no kuta kunya. Mumbusan said, why did he go through that?
Kevin Taylor Cassimi na mention made many out of a man will say. Asama Abrantana can say no club. Or si share, Bibi and you are sick cow. Nado bar first one. Once not the hanky shania. 1 second year, Bram, no share ring. I said 3rd year, no get a home. 4th year, a beshan and Nabu shop. Yanina, Mambra, a new mount. Na Mahama, then and can Mahama may say flight on. Half flight no or one from one corner. And no sooner Kunya accidents. Share. Was it be enough from how no Kevin Taylor and Casa Procra 2 minutes now, Yembesho. Yembesho also whom Jenano Poka demanda, Mahama go home nache, he said get a hunda, Fifi Queto Hunida, Kofu be brew home mother. Eh, it's in a month for Kasa Kevin by a note, a vice president Fino, not a yellow gray. Or said be before. Hey, Kutuka, then dinner international buttons on. Adawayano. Was a boy with power to a Kwamkuma. Nanyan Sabella and no womb Timtum dinner chimo to Kwamkuma. And nay, ye can't to cast a massey. Eh, you be sir. Dear man, son and go for way. Boss, my sire and mamma fine. As for my dion, Nanyan this for the soon be young. Ah, well, indeed.
This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Kofi we omo wen sa Kofi Ghana pa Jane Mensa and the battalions no omo wen for some reason boss man sorry person be kasa biom on share media on the atem just say why say wa mo asa no hwe ayira sa Kofi we omo wen sa these people omo wen Jane Mensa and the colored boys and girls no nti for some reason no I say chrono e do sometime and NPP akoyira akotete omo teta na so omo aban ba no ma be jimi omo wa no mko I just say na esi e koso because at a point no na de bia ngofo weti TV so boss man asare na tini baby no didi Mahama tem no didi NDC for tem na okase nyina ya jimi ye ka say oh boss man we de anya ne ye munya ne ye kwa no odidi obi atem from 2025 maintain say boss man akasa ada east one nyina madane mumu ana me be se be busa say isi na electoral commission hono no e say obi ayemumu anase obi ane asra because we are not seeing you people talk because that they be a city FM na omako bossman ho Gabi Ochedakun radio TV station city sa channel 1 Gabi Ochedakun dia na Gabi Ochedakun investment no na omako bossman na bossman didi atem na odidi Ghana for atem odidi Mahama atem odidi NDC for atem for some reason me 1 year ni maintain bossman interview bia I say bossman person be kasa biom I say Jane Mensa so person be kasa biom say ni makeup ason say ni nkunu ode sra no hona son say dia ne dross atio just say I say obia just say I just they acting as if so many NPP in about power and NPP free power no almost got 9 chain I say they were so active when the NPP were in power. Jane Mensa ofa na soja ni dinachi ofa na soja ni bia de bag amano na soja ni etne dross na soja ni mani hanki apepa nanim na ni kunu mi busa musa enti sa nyoma nyina idea na esi asisi ano mu nyina we are not seeing these people again. What is going on? And how many MPP na bae enti MPP ko out or some so ko tenase din sa na Ghana na ye chechire na because you can't tell me say the vocal EC, the vocal Bosman Asare, the vocal Jane Mensa, the people we were seeing every day. It is suddenly Papa Bakubino on your friend Srebo when we wu anaso ho. I just sometimes ask these questions because I know say kai because short memory need you will be bree. And until they be an kai hono. And until my NPP for a Jimmy Omohono. These are all NPP surrogates. And all these people, for some reason, they are not talking again. They are quiet. They are not saying anything. They are not releasing press statements. Yeah, but see, we just say is in the whole course when I say gu. So you have one no omo bomb hoba no mo wen. Yeah, but see, we say munyina ma yira ma kote ta na sa de en. So 2 minutes to me eye nyoma pa o. NPP Sankofo between 2020 and 2024. Adebia nkofo we kire Ghana na me hu bi da. Jane Mensa and the Boss Manasari. Now, I can get you interviews of Boss Manasari, press conferences, the body language, the insults. For some reason, a kufuwa the neba umia free power no. And yet, Boss Manasari so free power. Jane Mensa free power. But we thought the EC was an independent body, and they were speaking. They were speaking every day, granting interviews. For some reason, Abbey say no, EC is no more an independent body. EC has become a very quiet body. What is going on? Again, Asasa. And that means that EC, no, they were basically working for the NPP. Because again, Asasa and the EC going to be briefie. EC cry yen tio no asem yen mun grant interviews, more update here. Mo ma yen hu de air course wo EC ho, ma ye new nkofo amode de omoka motua. Sa eye invoices ni ade na ka ho asem procurement issues. Se sia mun break bibia down kire. Just here, Auditor General's report in your share EC from 2020 to 2024. From the Muye, the Mudi Musika, ye perceive Hunina into your train. Obi Buzaze, where is Daddy Lumba TV? Catherine Afeku, Daddy Lumba TV, where is Daddy Lumba? Daddy Lumba, what is Ejako TV? What be Jimmy Penyo? Catherine Afeku. Original. So we want to bring the Ejako TV. Ejako Jimmy way. Ejako so can Ejako win or the spinal cord na chia na got na baby. Oh no, I say. Ejako. The spinal cord achia why is Akobi? Ejako no I say. Montuma can the Ejako. Montuma se kwasi ampenyi. Kwasini. Ejako TV and not the Lumba TV. So it's Mr. Dotty Lumba here. Oh, rest in peace, Africa Michael Jackson. We there. Manoko kotia. Make a cancer now with Dimbe, Africa Michael Jackson with him. So I Mr. a supporting artist for that Moya in Mr. Mo, Menka Bonnet, Bomb from Dimbe press conference no home. Now Daddy Lumba TV and the Jacko TV. Where's Daddy Lumba TV? Mr. Daddy Lumba is he here? Yes, Mr. Daddy Lumba is here. We are going to do Daddy Lumba TV. Now Mujimi Moho, sa 8 years near Shamo. Namo Paimoto. Ubianka Bibian Chemo. Nancy or say or chikuka or babu or so babun tukuno. In the Siano Coca no Mukuna to actually NPP Nekasano, or Mukaso Babu Mukuno. Inti we and long or secret Japan. The supporters no. Sabao Miadrin say Bibia Jua, heat no form ice a ball asuja. Almost a munjimio. Baumia wade and come boba me won't Casani and Tina Michimuno. The Omokan say Baumia supporters. Can the Japan supporters catch them say. Muna mukache kede Japan se na adwene bie so o ejimi fo o de abronye ene san kwase aforo mu fi no ene yese adwuma abo ayi baomia o se mama me mama monte se na nka ombe so mo kan sam kira nka sam nka ombe ka kira won nka wo yere kra ne nda biem asantini na kasa no ba bia wanti timitim aya kede Japan supporter se wo baomia ensam a wo ka kira nkora no mo be di kede di atem kede Japan atem ema kede Japan ono kwa na catch them some omundi atem no o se senka Kennedy mo chance anka sem be ka kire wo no ka wo yire ba omia anka wo yire no owro no ho da okran kan ne nda omusinka ubehu ba omia te se dansen omuse Kennedy na ebrebre omase ena wo yire beifo ba Samira no omanka na asem na anka mo bie Samira asam so a anka hu Samira anka betunto so guso atwam enti omo ka kire wo chifo no they are sending a message to your piglets. Those guys who were insulting Kennedy Japan every single day, every morning, afternoon, evening. Emma Bodin. Say, Oma target be Mombekumbi. MP because Ombebu just Ombekuno no. Oma target be Ombebu Mokuomo. Into Omo catch Oba Omia. Won kwara ni bi de Momon kan kan ho no mo ntena ho enwini power. Sa nkora na woka se Kennedy Japan. Wabodam, omukodi Kennedy atem, you Bawumia, you were behind it. You Mahmoud Bawumia, you were behind it. All the things that they were saying, the young girls, Akosha Menimu, Kofi Ofosu cancer, Abronye, and Kwasiafom Hufianka, you and your wife, you were behind it. You were resourcing these people. You were giving them money. You were telling them to do it because you wanted power. Enti kumasifo no Kennedy Japan chino, omuyam be man say, memfa enchechire mu nchira wo say, senkenya Kennedy ne bo omano a, na nkansema nkombeka fa samre ho no. Wo yire chadi ni no sa wo yire beifo no anka asema nkombeka no anka nadwenka hu na nkobetu ntosuo gusu no abo atra anka enakra ne na biem na omse Kennedy ne so ma no akomprako ne epe ene so ma no enti na ensema anka wo so ka kire wo ka kire samre ene de waye ene nyoma bi a waye wo underground enim guasam eje nyoma etan asebio krama kramu a ontafre no omse nkomo beka na Kennedy ne so ma no me obi antumi so ma no Kennedy for de be so ma no na me akobedu obi ani wo betuma so ma no meka inti Mahmoud Bawumia party no Kennedy for no say enka nkyere wo say eja no ede wo fom ayese ball asuja wo de sika na mo wiere nyina mo fa nyi chema wo ntumi de omse no problem wo wia no be wini power because Kennedy no omo de omo hu ni so e bodamfo omu Kennedy say oyekwasi ampanyi omu Kennedy say onim nyansa omu da ho trust Kennedy omu da ho gi Kennedy di omu da ho bu Kennedy inti sa wontwamo no mu di wachi no so mo nsue nyansa anti ase say without Kennedy you can never be president and they na wunu ho Kennedy supporters de omu ka kira wo no omu say without Kennedy Japan you can never be president in Ghana ana obebeti agronie entokwanie de na ope Kennedy nkofo na de asoma me medium yesumafo agronie intokwanie Mahmoud Bawumia can never be president without Kennedy Japan. So Kennedy anjan tumi so betumi the president utumi the president da and no na omo ka kire intejane de e wo form broni besia smoldering fire sa eja no ehye eye de ball asuja ehye form ho na edidi basoro inti asere de ede inti sa woti ufie ona senkwasiafo bi bana ochechecheche omu nsem a omu na ombedi wachi na omu angasa de eye battalions no omu fom na omu suma se yenka nkire wo nkwara no sa atene no omu di Kennedy no omu remfie medium yesumafo na midwudwom ama Ghanafo a omu nhada ntia santekasa no ate ase an end of announcement momenko enim abo eye 9:26 in Ghana obi aye alert Kevin Taylor ba da ko hwede yen uni bibia hwe me won numbers change GTV me Africa CNN me Ghana BBC CNN Al Jazeera I control the American and then running ubetuma dede but dancing but we control the news here because and you kind of kreno no jandam no ehunahuna no atro no minimum we nye tribalism we nye me asantini me awonani me yankrani we ye facts no bare facts we nye bebia me free we nye me krom we nye kurase we nye on adeba ko etane say inkurase for no mo TV so radio so no e na me de ewume kurase e na kurase we na me nyini ye emfa me ho ne kurase a wunyini ye una ye kurase ne e wo problem me man ya wume kurase inti you need to understand say this is what we do. If today is your first time on this planet, my name is Kevin Taylor. This is my job. This is my full-time job. This is what I do for a living. When I file my taxes, I file Loud Silence Media. So when you see me sit here for hours, this is my job. I'm not lazy. I work every single day. If I'm your boss, you are going to struggle because every day I come to the office. So when I'm your boss, you are going to struggle because I work every day. That is what consistency means. Intimate Jumani, maybe today is your first time seeing my face. If you're watching me from Europe, America, Asia, my name is Kevin Taylor. I'm the CEO of Loud Silence Media. This is my full-time job. This is what I do for a living. All my properties I've been able to acquire is through this. That is what I do. And I'm not ashamed of the gospel like Paul. But the Paul in Ghana at Metro TV will die soon. God will kill him because he's a liar. Now say me to say Paul, Edidi Kwame Nkrumah tem. Now Ghana for any time to listen to Paul Adumochre. Paul Adumochre, he can make his own history up. Paul Adumochre, Wayario or Hunhunu inside. Paul Adumochre can create his own history. Paul Adumoch is such a dirty guy sitting on TV insulting Nkrumah. Kofi Bento, such a aimless guy sitting on social media insulting Nkrumah. And I see those co-minini dirty riffraffs, all because they want to force Kotoka to be a hero. Who the hell is Kotoka? It does not matter how you people try to tweak the history. Kotoka, his name will be taken off the airport. It's a fact. Then Yenjimi ya had to waste time on somebody like Paul Adumoch for Paul Adumoch to speak ill of Kwame Nkrumah. And Jimmy, who will give airtime to Paul Adumoch to speak against Kwame Nkrumah? There are other nations who followed Ghana's history. There are other professors, historians who followed Ghana's history, nitty-gritty Ghana history. They have read every single book about Nkrumah, what Nkrumah wrote himself, and what people wrote about him. Who the hell and who is this filthy Paul Adumoch to sit on Joy News to come and tell Ghana for his version of the history? No, Paul Adumoch, kwasi ampenyi okoboro ka free Togba Fedi hokura no otumi appreciate Togba Fedi. Paul Adumoch, Togba Fedi gave him money to go do his wedding. Emma and the car, Kwasia, Obetina TV so ADD Togba Fedi attempt. This is a guy who is ungrateful to his own dick. He doesn't know whether he's sleeping with a woman or he sleeps with men. He does not even know where he belongs. A dirty riffraff who is a liar. And Ghana media will give Paul Adumoch such a shrinking old bastard like this. She the age ni she the why. Unas with the 80. Kwame Nkrumah do Paul Adumoch age. Now or young. She Paul Adumoch. Paul Adumoch on do baby out here the why. Once a boy kokora. And we entertain this foolish political insects on our radio. Right now, he's a full-time NPP communicator. You people are supposed to address him like that. Only BBI, nobody's watching his show. His show is dead. People have now seen Paul Adumoch, who he is. He's a sycophant, a liar. What does he do? So I do Metro TV. Is it for him? The show is not for him. He's jobless. All that he does is concern Odin or Didi. He does nothing. These are people we are not supposed to give any attention to or pay attention to. Every single individual in Ghana who appreciates JB Dankwa is a criminal. That person can never be respected in Ghana. JB Dankwa, MPP for today, the likes of Paul Adumoch and Kofi Bento Dems, these foolish political insects are adoring. This is a guy who was a flag bearer of a political party and also working for a foreign security agency. Are you insane for a whole party to be built around JB Dankwa? CIA files, which were released by the United States, actually said JB Dankwa was working. JB Dankwa is a snitch. That guy is somebody. When a political party rallies around somebody like that, you have to understand every single person in that party is a disease. You rally around JB Dankwa, who was a presidential candidate for a particular party and working for another country's security agency, and you tell me that JB Dankwa is somebody who has principles for me or for people who are reasonable to follow. Well, Jimmy, now JB Dankwa in history when you free prison or call U.S. Embassy in Ghana to go ask for his salary. It's on record. And a fool like that, and we have people in Ghana saying Dankwa Institute, such a treasonous character, a petty thief, a criminal who snitches on his own country. These are facts. I'm not making it up. Inti, I then will be better TV to say, my school, my kenkai, and you know what? I support JB Dankwa, and that person wants to run down Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah, Jimmy, and we give ears to such idiots. Media now are full because we don't have enough intelligent people coming on TV and radio to speak. So any fool can just come and try and run down Kwame Nkrumah. Now Kwame Nkrumah Puma ne kutano no. It is valuable that Paul Adumoch's whole life. Kwame Nkrumah Puma. If we sell Kwame Nkrumah's Puma walking stick, it will cost more than Paul Adumoch's life. The life, how much is worth. And we sit in Ghana, we allow the likes of Kofi Bento, Paul Adumoch, some foolish Dankwa Institute, ingrate, political insects, criminal entities, these foolish tribal bigots, disease and unrespectable, diagnostic, demonic, Fabian, ragamuffin, shabarangs, dirty ass niggas sit on TV to try and denigrate Nkrumah. This dirty, filthy ass niggas. Such niggas. Irade agobo. Me say, Obia odi JB Danko echi. Eheli JB Danko bia Jimmy 4. So when you hear people who hail JB Danko, who are part of this party called JB Danko Buzia Diendia, Sani Panwe Jimmy, that person can never have reasonable discussion on Ghana's history. No, because already they have been tainted. They are seen as ignorant people. They were supporting a criminal, a treasonous character, a filthy disease, an ex-convict, a criminal who went to the U.S. embassy to ask for his salary when he was a party flag bearer, J.B. Dankwa, a crackhead, a smoking fool. Then we sit here, near a man called for quine. Say, these people, because media are full. Go outside Ghana and see people who have studied, followed, read Ghana politics from day one, and followed Nkrumah, wrote his biography, understand democracy, understand governance, and go and look and read what they have written about Nkrumah, a Jimmy 4, because of your mediocre, foolish, tribal, stupid sentiments. You idiots can come and sit on your bumble-clad, dirty-ass nigger platforms and talk nonsense about Nkrumah. We are not supposed to give relevance to these idiots. They just want to be relevant because we don't give a heck about them. We don't care. You people can say whatever you want to say. Kotoka is a fool. His name is not supposed to be on the airport. Finito. Kotoka's name yent to be from to Kramai. Kramai crying to be from Tono. Kotoka, whether he played a major role, he was behind the scenes playing a role. Kotoka, from history, he went to a general's house, a military general's house, telling the military general to follow him to war. The military general told him the premises of the war did not make sense. Kotoka pulled a gun, shot the man in front of his wife and his kids. Such dirty animal, a foolish fool like that, a riffraff, nipa fonsano. Then we sit here and say we are going to denigrate Nkrumah because of a dirty Kotoka. Kotoka din yemfanto mprekobuoso. Kotoka ni dino yemfanto imprekodan yemfanto so. So whether you people like it or not, Nkrumah has already made his name. You ingrates, you riffraffs, you political insect, you cannot change what Nkrumah has built. And what Nkrumah has built cuts across nations. It cuts across continents. It cuts across the universe. You idiots, it does not change anything. We will change Kotoka's name, the airport. We will change the airport, the name of the airport. Kwasiafo, mona nanom eba na komesi Japadi anka nenka mo premier de omudi atoso. Obi mbra mesi na inwan tesamo. Dirty riffraffs like you will come and sit on TV and try to denigrate Nkrumah. Foolish people, dirty ass niggas. Momi anko enim. Omodwa Kevin Taylor the odidi atemo me mo Jimmy na me yamusa. Team, what is this? My team said I should read this for you to hear. Kotoka is a traitor, a dirty fool. Kotoka aponchi kradi, aponchi buo kra for the din to so. Ye be yini din efri so. We will call it Accra International Airport. The onpenonko kunu ho kwasiafo. Nkrumah has already made his name around the world. Go, baby Abekobia Kwame Nkrumah is there. Now who in politics share Nkrumah? Ofui. Obetunaka say Nkrumah was a dictator. Kwasiafo dan country ma munjimi mo ho. Mo ye lucky kura nko so hye nyina mase. Kwasiafo mo te Ghana Jimmy Samon kwa. Mo ne masefo ne mo nananom. Yenja Ghana na mo fa mo kron no nse Ghana. Mo JB dan kwa kronfo no. Okoje nyina ba na opedien ope salary. Obebusa America for US embassy, the new ambassador. The new ambassador said, "Oh, when I was in jail, you did not send my salary? Are you people not ashamed to be affiliated to such a dirty riffraff in fui?" Mamen kan Kotoka kwasi ampe na asem kakra nkyere mo. Ye njamu hwe na ye jamu adwumani ye jamu. Ye njamu ne nkodi de ye mu ye adwumani. Ai ye ni baby akọ. Ye bedwudwom akọ say Yesu beba. Ye wo time so time ye will be rough. Ye nya botre our time. Team, they come in. I'm waiting for the Kotoka story. Na menjudwom. See afọ mo je see the bechemo. Ai iti ba fo Kotoka kromfo na ye te Ghana na asai ntira. Ghana na asai. Na ye de na polado mo chia. Kwasi ampe yikodi ne yire a ne yere hu se Paul Ademochi ne hu ni ho a oja Paul Ademochi a omuti TV so say we have not divorced na kwasi ampenyi we na ndi eti Ghana obeka Kwame Nkrumah asem all because kwasi ara kwetie brofo bi na all kind of TV so and you know ejimi for and you know what, if Kwame Nkrumah was a dictator we still like him. If Kwame Nkrumah was a bad man we still like him. What about you, your fathers? Mo papa no ma kromfo. JB Dankwa was a thief. JB Dankwa, he was a thief. Ochane na nanom se ne anum wi. JB Dankwa was a drug addict. Kwasiafo, mo ejimi for yasoso busu sa. Team, I'm trying to get the Kotoka piece you just sent me. Yeah. Can you I have it on system. I can't pull it out. Ejimi4. Yabe kind in achiramo. I'm with Jimmy for the Ghana. I'm on person in document because I've seen it. I'm trying to pull it out from the system. Guys, work on it for me, please. Yeah. And guys, I don't mean to be pull it. Me apa. Me person me read the other check Ghana for who kwasi for any omudili or Ghana ho. Jimmy 4. What it's Ghana. And I'm also some kwasi asam so Kotoka. Me see ade to impreko buom krampa ye fa nya hwe Kotoka no nie akwa na mo kana asem na oma ya say o ni papa bia ama no. This is the Kotoka guy. Yani our time ye be show no 9:43 ye ginim, no worries, team stay with me. This is the Kotoka guy. Where na because of this guy entina Paul Ademochi mutiti TV so they are trying to run down this guy. Ohwe soja ni enim na yire ene ne mba gina nenim oso mo mbesene no ne nkɔ war ena soja ni say premises no war no reason ti ayekɔ war no faso ni so onko akwa we twituo bo ni tirim tuo e wɔ ne yire ne mba enim akwa we hwɛ nenim aya mo kan mu history. Go and read, go back and check your history. These foolish people. Now Kwame Nkrumah, let you see. I am not kwasiamfo TV so she shoot Tantime Mozambique TV bi. Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka was a Ghanaian military officer, best known for his leading role in the 1966 coup that overthrew Ghana's first president Dr. Nkrumah. The coup na you know. Kotoka no dim nyanse ade coup. Kotoka no on a backroom staff. The amount of Kotoka be prominent in Kotoka was the one who was doing the killings. There were other generals ahead of Kotoka who were smarter and intelligent than Kotoka, who were doing things in a way, almost a way they were a smart military man. Kotoka was a bullion. They were using him like a dog. When they want somebody to go shoot someone, they will call him, go and kill this one. And it's not Kotoka he is not any intelligent person who can sit and plan coup on to me yet. Now, short summary of his story. Early life and career. Kotoka was born in 1926 in Alakple, in the Volta region of Ghana. He joined the Gold Coast Regiment, that's the Gold Coast Regiment, and later the Ghana Army. The Gold Coast Regiment and the Ghana Army. So in 1926, the Ghana Army was called the Gold Coast Regiment. Now, and rose through the ranks, earning a reputation as a disciplined and professional soldier. He trained both locally and abroad. 1966 coup. On 24th February 1966, while President Nkrumah was on a trip to Asia, Kotoka and other military and police officers carried out a coup d'etat. So let me tell you, Kotoka himself wasn't the leader of the coup. The reason why Kotoka became more popular was that he was the one doing the killings. Kotoka murdered soldiers, his colleagues. He murdered them. He was hungry for power. He just wanted to recognize. No, otisa punching. Go and read your history. Go and read your history. Edubuahin, 1992. Edubuahin now contested NPP now. Professor Edubuahin. Omo change Ghana history because they wanted it to fit into their stupid NPP, JB Dankwabuzia nonsense. Edubuahin mo and damage. Because those books we read in junior high school, JSS, no, sa social studies book no, Edubuahin, NPP, Edubuahin, no, Troye. So they decided, it is all pickets our books now. Near reading those times from the 90s, Urbana, social studies, cultural studies now. Every single thing about the book, it has silent majority of the tribes and made Ashanti-four and Akan tribe, it made it superior because those guys wanted the Akan tribe or the Akans to be superior than any other tribe in Ghana. And it's the cultural studies, the social studies books they read, everything was pointing to Asante-four, Akan-four. But you could see, so what's not already Ghana's history very well. Akan-four played a very small role when it comes to putting together our democracy. When it comes to tribe, when it comes to Akan-four and Asante-four, you can give it to them when it comes to tribal war. That is fine. But you see, we allowed some people to mislead majority of us in the name, say, they were professors. They were writing our history. Those are the people who did us damage. Eduboy never liked J.J. Rawlings. Eduboy never liked the AFRC. Eduboy, when he was writing the social studies books, they always concentrated on the 1979 coup. You know why? Because that was what they were able to instill in the heads of especially Asante-four. And sometimes, young people now people like us, there were other coups before J.J. Rawlings coup 1979. They centered the bad part of our history on J.J. Rawlings because they wanted to print a picture for everybody to think, say, J.J. Rawlings, on the coup e bin si Ghana da. Nanso before J.J. be coup no, near coup be 4 or 5 in Ghana. Kwasiafo, mo tena TV so a, mo besa Ghana for dwin say obi ejimi. Now, when you read the story, 1966 coup, on 24th February 1966, while President Nkrumah was on a trip to Asia, Kotoka and other military and police officers carried out a coup d'etat. They accused Nkrumah's government of economic mismanagement, authoritarianism, and corruption. The coup succeeded and brought the National Liberation Council, NLC, to power, with Kotoka as one of 8 key members. NLC, one among the Yantin Menjia. NLC, one among the when the coup happened, who was the beneficiary? Wasn't it Buzia? Who is part of Buzia? I'm going to start here. And only I'm going to start here. So, who were the financiers and the beneficiaries of that coup? It was Buzia them who were behind that coup. Buzia, now Otitogo, and now church books. He was writing things against Kwame Nkrumah. JB Dankwa them, and internet Ekufuadomo, sa NPP for we know. So we study a history now. They were the ones who quickly step out of the country, seek for asylum, and start to write bad things about the nation. The same time, Buzia eti Togo, a church of bad things about Nkrumah. No, now JB Danko was working for the Americans. You say Kwame Nkrumah is a what? Is a tyrant. Now JB Danko kwasi ape is ananka Nkrumah nyama na antenanto. O de che no kra. Kwame Nkrumah na nyame wona kum o de che JB Danko. Na go so de ngina second chanity. Na o de che Buzia mo se bebia mo obi amon ka ho. Kwame Nkrumah na nko so o chi JB Danko gina circle. Na o chanity. No, the chile almost say, Mona Motiti Abroche Church on Kwasia Sanfa Ghana Hono, Monkaho, because Moba, this same thing will happen to you. Anke see and can say when Gianti. You are foolishly sitting on radio and saying, hey, Kotoka is a hero, JB Dankwa is a hero. My bottom, this guy, this foolish traitor. We can go and pull CIA. Document Omankasa declassify it was in there that JB Dankwa was in prison. When he came back, he went to the US embassy in Ghana. The new ambassador had come in. He did not even know JB Dankwa was on the payroll of the Americans, and he was demanding for salary. Say Okodemuno the salary amba you are calling this guy a hero. You people are foolish, eh? Mujin say Ghana and Jimmy and a small group of foolish boys and girls or mount TV and radio and try to change our history because everybody wants to be disciplined. Everybody wants this country to move on because we don't want to engage in this petty, dirty kind of conversation. Not a dirty riffraff like Paul Ademoche. Now, Paul, does he know how Ghana came by? They always twist history. They always tweak history. They always change history. What's your pay you at the Papa of Ghana? Our biggest problem was when we introduced education, formal education, the cultural studies, and social studies by and no na edubuahina or contested ma NPP in 1992 said that was when they got the opportunity to force us to believe their lies. It became so difficult. Young people like us, when we were growing up, near you say JJ Nkwana Eku or Ghana. Near you say AFRC, PNDC, Fonkwana, and Papa. And so before that, all the coup that happened, Kuwa etu Kwame Nkrumah no e benefiti Buzia. Buzia no ni JB dan kwa ye juma bom. Buzia no ni JB dan kwa nam. NLM yeti no mensia NLM. Ansana sa nkwasiafo we de neba. So you people should not sit there. Now we can kwasiasem and we allow you. And it's me say democracy sometimes is not good for black man. Democracy, it is not good for black man. Because any democracy power and Kofi they wouldn't even have the space to talk like this on radio. Ekrobia, and now you are speaking ill about Nkrumah like this. Abra, you are not the only person who basically lived through Nkrumah's regime. Anka ye chawutia to actually. Yatiana Bavo to you £700. I got 7 minutes to be at assembly room. I didn't say we didn't want to say anything because you see, sometimes nyome bintina na me din because I never say who some nyansa na some Jimmy. Edu mo ahen. That question pay na owu na na cause problem we nyina. Ade bia o tro say nkran kan bia osku bia it was a jandam. It was an agenda against the NDC, PNDC. It was an agenda against JJ Rawlings. Kuwaya Kotokaya, who was the beneficiary of this coup? Wasn't it Buzia? Now Buzia Wayne. What is the Ghana and Kwasi Asem? Now, team Kotokana Mokana some way. A dirty man. Janabro in the church in say, Kwame Nkrumah at a point. Or who say, or say, or reshuffle a military high command for no around the nation. Mistake Nkrumah and say, Muvu Kotoka kwa Santimemu. Kotoka kwa Siampeng wa Yamuneni. Okodwa Santimemu no. Ena okoshia another military officer ye free fa kwa Siampenyi bi. Asantini okoshia no. Ena almost psyche na adwene say. Omane say, remember, these were the same group of people a free fa no. Nane nananom ena call queen hoka kire queen say. Na omo asantifo no pese omo teme ho. Queen ka say I cannot severe on to me twama nim entem ho enti saa efiri fa kwase ampanyi no na ne nananom ka saa group no ho na omo pese the Queen of England ete Ghana free asante free Ghana ho na Queen say mwagimi na monko amodi mo so amodwen say mo betuma survive menye enti tama kotoka ko asante memu no ye post the call ho no na okohu those people who had harbored those kind of bitterness omo nananom ne bi wo military nim. And I'm starting a political to say you can be part of us. That is where the indoctrination started. They started creating that in the head of Kotoka because on one side no agunenia we Jimmy. Not na nye juma. Or didn't tumakobo montumano. So what they did was Edumrebi na Nkrumah kase ewiase no opesen koboa na Ghana dia ewiase koso no yes soja for bi dey yetumi mo better training etu kwan kwa abrochi peacekeeping ade into ostatis project no. And what happened? That is when they got the opportunity to start recruiting the likes of them that Kotokani efri fa sa nkwasiafo no sa people with their old animal mentality sa nkwasiafo no. They started recruiting people from the army. And now they doing kind almost started epic young, ignorant, and they took their time. They planned the coup in 1965. Kwame Nkrumah, every Ghana so oko Asia. Abbey. That was when they decided to take over the country. But some say, what was the reason for the coup? Almost Ghana thing. The way Nkrumah was ruling, it was obvious to me for any clear-cut evidence. And by say Nkrumah was a dictator. Nkrumah was trying to re-strategize the country. There were people in the country who were trying everything possible to assassinate Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah ko Burkina Faso slim. Now ne Baumia Papa and Nam. This same Buzia and Nkofo, they wanted to assassinate him. So you expect the president to be sitting there like a fool and not tightening things up. How many assassination attempts na Sankwasi Afowe Etra or Kwame Nkrumah life so many. So you expect Kwame Nkrumah to be sitting there like a Roman father and be hugging everybody. He was supposed to make sure things were tightened up security wise. So when Nkrumah decided to make things tight and make sure the people living in the country felt safe, these foolish people did not understand. They wanted their way. And Nkrumah took Asia. In 1965, no planning 66, and omutu abani guye. In the name we say Ghana yedi nyoma nkoye. Nanka Ghana na Nkrumah dictator. Anka wo kwam kotokane sa kwa siampenye free fana na omudi eye sa so yanka munyanke nguma anto antwene. Huh? And what they did was that they had to overthrow Nkrumah's government. All in the name say yempa Nkrumah ya wakachira queen say also the part of the country nemaye and one tias yema Ghana we are not going to make it governable. The intention was yebe say krono buzi etukwan akotena Togo. He was sitting in Togo writing articles upon articles, selling it out into the world and making it look like Kwame Nkrumah was a tyrant, all because say yenya mo bi enya ebeko go de nkanko corner. The mentality. J.B. Dankwa, his partner, was also working for the Americans. Kwame Nkrumah Nipabako trying to save a nation and trying to help the world. This is the real story. So, Abuawe, onye nipebia, I was saying it to be so. What happened then? Mr. P, Tim, I saw you just sent me something. Kotoka ye coup. Now, the question is, Kotoka ye coup, no? Who did it benefit? The people it benefited, who are they? It benefited Buzia. It benefited J.B. Dankwa. Who were those two people? These were the people who were always hunting Kwame Nkrumah to kill him. So, who was the mastermind behind the coup? It was this NPP people. I didn't know so Nkrumah was a dictator. You cannot prove with anything. But you see, they want to create an impression. They want people to think, say, Nkrumah ya bonibi. So, when you read our history books, Yeni, you started reading culture studies, social studies, Papa na your friend Edubuahin, Professor Edubuahin na opesa obedi NPP nim ebe contested JJ Rawlings in 1992. Edubuahin, on na MPP for first flag bearer. On na person contested presidential candidate. On na person or contested JJ Rawlings because the hatred one of the most tribal bigots in Ghana was Edubuahin. Those guys were the guys who wrote our books. So what they did is book no Troy, create impressions say JJ Bonsam. So all the coups that happened in 66, before 66, and all the way, they did not talk about it. They briefly mentioned it in our culture studies books. And then they went all the way down to 1979. And then they started detailing it. And making you, the young person in the classroom, I would say, Ghana history, JJ Rawlings looked at like a monster to you. So they made it more horrific. They made it more graphic. Into utie story teacher ni na kanya in your head na jeje kutatuo and we wura dam no obo we mutimutuo no obo we timutuo no twa weti. They created it in the minds of the people. They printed it here. Into yenina we were like into jeje ye cool and oku nipa. But the reality is that Edubuahin they had an agenda. They wanted to paint Rawlings and the PNDC and AFRC. They wanted to paint them in a certain way because that is where the problem started. Kotoka in 1967, a young military officer shot this guy and killed him. When you say we saw boa. Oye kuni Kotoka 1967, he was shot. He was shot by a young officer. Now Kotoka a hero and at the in a year. Why would a young officer in less than a year shoot to kill him? Because he's a monster. The young people realize that this guy has destroyed the Ghana. Yes, this is what the story is. Besides, Mr. P, do you have something for me? I can show you, team. So let's not sit down and entertain this foolish talk. Kwasi Ampenyi bi also on TV so Kwame Nkrumah was this, Kwame Nkrumah was that, Kwame Nkrumah was this. The beginning of the destruction of Nkrumah's legacy and JJ Rawlings it was from 1992. Time I am Edubuahin more chance to write our social studies and culture studies books. That was the beginning of our end. In the book, So what study our books now? And one of these days, I know one of the teachers will mail one of those books to me. Me pay class 6 culture studies books, any social studies book. Me pay so those P6 and P5 books no. Unim de wom. P5 and P6 social studies books, any culture studies books. Unim de wom. Everything in our culture studies textbooks was about accounts. Hardly did they mention Muslims. Hardly did they mention Northerners. The only thing that you could see about Northerners, the 5 pillars of Islam, Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, is done. When you go into our books, it's all about the whole thing was geared towards making the Ashantis look better than any tribe in Ghana. Without due respect, I don't hate Ashantis. But you see, sometimes let's face the reality. Some people try to twist the history of this country. At a point, people from different tribes did not even believe in their own tribe because books have shaping the minds of the young people in the wrong way to the point where they did not even believe in their own tribes. Into not school, not your friend Dikwa no ferry because they had been created. Your creative BBA to system. We say, I don't know when you didn't say, I don't know if you sa, I don't know if you Dovedu, I don't know if you Domeluvo, I don't know if they created it. Your a pepe needing and I said 10 needing or class no BS because of the way they shaped our minds were shaped where they crafted our minds. When you see a Jimmy, who is this idiot? Who are these fools? We are delving into this matter. And we are speaking our mind on issues. But for some reason, decided to say, let us build this nation. About power, and this thing came back again. Some people wanted to look better than other people. Some people wanted to underestimate some tribes. Sorry. But why should it be like that? Why should we lower the country to that point? Me say, I know I'll get teachers now more Ghana. No? I need class 6, class 5, class 6, JSS 1, culture studies and social studies. Maybe Tana me book you'll be shocked. Obaka say edubu ahin. Edisa ko bia boss papa ni din any group no trust ankwase book no. Me say, at a point, Pepe ni akwara 10 year akwara jina school near Boni din yeah market register no offering. I went to international school throughout my life. Me man ko saito da. And I always made sure say me na fufu nyina ko saito so I'm able to understand. Me na fufu nyina ko saito. I was just privileged to be in international school throughout my life. Into me I had both of two that experience I had it. Into me I've never underestimated human beings. And see I didn't need to shower. I was so tears do point to be also tears here. Who is this guy? Huh? Who is Kotuka? Let me show you another thing. Thank you very much, team. I'm going to show one last one. Now, Bimfa, show no and womb. Mommy, charge and some catch them Ghana. So let us not allow these polydemocracies and those foolish people. These are ingrates. They have nothing to do with their lives. They are tribal bigots. Let's not entertain them. Let's not entertain these people. Team, do you want me to show this before we go on? Maybe team, no more time. They have all the time on this planet. So video they can pull it for me. Team, did you send me the next one? Almost send me for Winchamo. And this is about what, team? They said this next video is where Kotuka was shot. Is where Terminal 3 is now. Baby Kotuka, a young military officer shot Kotuka, killed him. And let me show you the video where he was shot. Because I'm paying you when I'm in the airport. So, Munyin free Sukrana di Pahontono. Obi coup in less than a year. His own young officers turned against him. Ask yourself why. Busa why? I didn't tell you so coup. His own people didn't turn against him to kill him. Ask yourself why. Because the motive behind that coup was wrong. The people he used to overthrow Nkrumah later found out that he was being used. Kotoka himself tried to correct things. They said no. Because you see, there were some people in there who were still those people, their people. They still didn't want Nkrumah back. You know the story. Kotoka was supposed to be Nango say Trinity. Nango said Nijina Circle, near Trinity. And then Kwasi Afobiti TV, so Ebeka just said Nkrumah was a traitor. He was a tyrant. He was a dictator. Ko Africa, and here, President Ben need to survive multiple assassination attempts. Kwame Nkrumah, Kwasia, into Gosoriano Pa, Nanko Jollof, Nekuta, and Northern Amjum. We could forward we crampono, or so be the kitchen knife, Ebe Yeku, Kwasia, de Kufuadi on Ghana. A coup for Kwasian Penny, we are, you didn't do any fridges one in Sankano, or no crabby president, no, or so what he say, or be the kitchen knife, Ebe Yeku. What did he do? But you people, you talk and you act as if somewhere more. You just don't understand why Ghana is here at this point. You still don't believe. You say, Mo papa no ma kromfono, mo nana no ma kromfona. They were not ready to abide by rules and regulations. They were not ready to serve. They thought to say, Ye nyina no yembe sha omase, because some foolish akonwa bi omudi. Inti ye nyina yembe sha omase. They did not come to that conclusion. Say, I was here nyina chichire man no. That adwene ne do mutirim no. Omode sha omumma trimu no. And then at the point, a big breedy in Kwasiafo to say free famo. What Jimmy? Foolish people. A whole political party is rallying around a name called JB Dankwa. Sankamuni munyansa ankamwe delete sadino every mo party nim. Somebody who went to jail and right after jail went to the US Army, US embassy in Ghana asking for his salary. Ejuma bena yo mom not on bent to amomo. Na oton bent to amomo. And I know to ahmed botre. Kwasiafo, we watch you people and you fool yourself on national television. Because Ghana na full. Obi atumi ka bibia na ofan ho adi. And I'm say sometimes democracy is not good for the black man. Go to Burkina Faso and see. A young man is trying to turn the country around. How many coups no we face? Then there's a titan bibia, that's a good political party bia, or say or a tyrant. Now by no so abobi too. You are foolish people. Musa Paul, I don't watch the money, Kofi Bente, Musa Ankwasi, for me a moi. Mujin say it's about you people and your tribe. You think it's about you people and your selfish greed. It is not about you people, it's about us. It is not about you people again. The whole thing is about us. And when it's about us, we will have to make that decision. And the decision we've made is that our airport is not supposed to be named after a criminal, a thug, an assassin. We are not supposed to allow a fool like Kotoka's name to be on our airport. Finito. That is what J.J. Rawlings, he did 2 coups and he succeeded. Busa didn't succeed here because the heart behind that coup, the people who were behind him, the nation was behind him. And it will succeed here, or you 2 coups or succeed here. Everybody was out there jubilating. Kotokaye coup, when the jubilating Ghana. It is only a group of people. Why? It is because it was going to benefit Buzia and benefit JB Dankwa and Kwasiafo. What you say, Jimmy Ohu? What you say, you better Ghana ha? And more Jimmy for no, we give you small power. Now Jimmy Moho. Tetenan kichucha mu namuti atu atwene. My lucky democracy is not good for black man. Democracy is not good for black man. I'm telling you. Black man democracy too much and oh Jimmy. Sometimes you need to be tightened a little bit. Because Mumube Breno, you don't know what is going on. As we did in the past. In the past was when Buzia, JB Dankwa Dems were trying to take power from Hilali Man. They were the obstacles. In the past, JB Dankwa, Buzia, and the NPP surrogates, that was when they wanted to take power from Hilali Man. That is when J.J. Rawlings and Ghanaians came to our rescue. So we will ride and override any obstacle, all the obstacles that we encountered in the past. And now we need to override it. That is why December 2024, we all came out to override the obstacle. That is why overwhelmingly 57% of voters said we want John Mahama back. We want the NDC back because we saw the demon. We saw what these people had done the past 8 years. We saw the fingerprints of Buzia. We saw the fingerprints of JB Dankwa. We saw the fingerprints of Kotoka deceit. We saw the fingerprint of these ingrates. That is why we came together as a nation. Overwhelmingly, we were yearning to change power. You know why? Because the people felt it in our hearts. The gods on our land and God in heaven, decided to give us a second chance. What you say, Nkwasiafuana? We know who you people are. When you got power, we saw what you did with power. What you see, Jimmy? We look at you people, we watched you from far. The same way Kwame Nkrumah took his time, looked at you people from far, assessed you people. So we have overridden that thing. And we are not going to stop. We are going to make sure we protect what is good for us. Kwasiafo, most of the TV so can kwasiasem in Krantie. One day, me say, I know I have some teachers in Ghana. You guys get me the P6, JSS1, JSS2, culture studies and social studies book. From next month, maybe I may read the book. You'll be shocked. At a point in 1992, me kaisa 1992, no 2000, no 1996. What you say, 1996. Say election. In Kofi printed J.J. Rollins' picture. That time I was very young. I was in primary. I mean, Mr. Oboasile and Clay Sports Stadium. Saturday, my papa, my family was school. Now, me call me na whole estate. So I was walking to my grandmother's house to walk home. My dad didn't pick me up that day. He had to go play golf or something. Hey? Clay Sports Stadium, I mean, who be that? That was the time I saw a man no kuta bag and I'm Clay Sports Stadium. Then I know kutano. Now, your Photoshop J.J. Rollins' picture. And you did my wattage and chain and OPF Sumoba. That time we knew nothing about Photoshop. Those things were done by the NPP guys who were living abroad. Omanomo UK, Omanomo US, and a Photoshop of J.J. Rollins coming out of the ocean or the sea with Mame Water by his side. And they were showing it and taking money. I swear to God. People were paying 5. Do you know 5? Now, man, for 5. That time near the 5, near the tonsio. That time motor ice water na egutentem and a cap sisi so abu amu say ankwara ukwohwe soccer ball. My father coached Anglo Gold Ashanti time na Goldfields no. My father was a team manager. Ukwohwe ball Hosty Parker na etonsuo 5 cap sisi so into my 5 and ye cap ni asa. I was going to stadium with my brothers and my father. I was young. Me do stadium no. Na mani bi okuta bag bi and a nipetwa no hwehia. And a picture kutano utia 5 and we be so kakra. J.J. Rollins. She so free epum. She so mami whatever. Na ni pay tiem. You people. You didn't say anymore. We soaked all these things. We're watching you people. Because you're for and the mom make a history tray. Momo make a history tray. Ya wona feel ya nyankwara wo. And it's most small boys on social media. Any Facebook me show na me sre. We just say we are kids. We are not. Ya show ya husu ye. Inti this jandam mostati enye no. Sa atro editu ni paso. In the time mo yes had na eto mahama so. Mo penti mahama. Mo say mahama dino. When I decided to come in, I had a reason. I told myself I'll clean this man up. Whatever it takes. 2020 elections. NDC losing power. I told myself, I stayed in the shower and I told myself I will still take power from you people. I promised myself and my God. 2020, mo rigi elections, mo botu. The day I saw Techiman South videos, I boni patu them catch them home, and I swore to my God, I will take power. You think power is easy to take? You think it's easy? Kevin Idiatem, I had to take it. If people think it's a joke, right? You think we just get up here and come sit here because I am Kora. Na kwasievi, na Kevin tell a small boy, and I'm showing something here. Oh, bottom. Beman who offered than two also a small boy. Majority of politicians are more than yeah. But you see, I always want to be underestimated. Because I want to see something. There are so many people I've met, but I'll act as if I'm a boss because I want to see something. That is how I play my cards. You people have no idea. Sa power now democracy that will enjoy and hold it. NDC is going to struggle. They are going to find solutions to problems. They are going to hit blocks. They have you at heart. They will protect that democracy. I swear to God. You are done. Me, I have nothing to lose. And you anticipate day. America, you team. Now, what about you? The only thing you have is Ghana. What done it to me, my NPP 8 years? You saw what you people, DDEP, and the Menoka say, Metesa Kwasiampe Yibitro, oh, and Yumbre, Yatise, Sabo Ebina, lawyer Nkuta Jene, Kwesibocho said, there's a small boy Bina, Nano set baby no. I read Facebook, and what is say, farmer be a cocoa farmer be a woo because Kwasia, DDEP, Nipo Ghana. Small boy, that boy, I can teach him, I can sit him down and teach him. Mechiri ba 2 ni age no. Sa kwesibocho mechiri ba 2 ni age no. I can sit him down and teach such kids. They don't have any idea. They just came to enjoy what is happening. They have nothing in their head. They have not gone through anything. I have politics na yefo. So when I see Nkwara didi ba omiechi na mo TikTok and I say unim dia okeka. Real Ghana ni no. Oko pension eku for the gene in some sikana ne papa wu ye no. You think that person is a fool, right? And your uncle for obobeko pension. They are scared say power besisa not to me be the NPP in Sema. They are told ni be papa no ebeto na. That is what we are protecting today. We are protecting pensioners. Those who are going to be pensioners today, tomorrow, and in the future. We want to protect our life. A government comes to power, takes money from pensioners, kill majority of them, and smile about it. And these same fools come and say, give me power again. What you say, Jimmy? So you people see politics to say, no, it goes beyond that. Majority of Mua, Mudi MPP, who me one-on-one, brim. Yes. Majority of Mamudi Baumiechi, Mumusa Samira Baumia, who me one-on-one, brim. So many people have seen me and their heart has skipped. What is that form? Oh, damn. What is that? Sorry, no kuta to me. 2 minutes kuta John Mahamano. 90% of you, the show within 2 weeks. Do you think it's an easy thing? Ukoda Bompire man, you think it's a joke? And you fools, most of them can't kwasiasam. What you say easy? Nanke is easy and come Samira. You people are crazy. Onyame na di to me ma. But onyame hwe di pakume ma so amani to me. So unkuta bibia kura wo ho. Now so the unji bibia ndia. The moment Rebecca so we win Ghana presidency no, e kuro no so moja ene e kuro no mu ankonwa ene abosom automatically you have like 40% protection and nko a. Now you said John Mahama and go for plane e dey akoboase a we nyamfo no. Now you said that form. Oje say sorry an wanko. Oje say bibi na CNT a John Mahama anko. Are you mad? Now who the idea which I want to see. Oje say easy sir. To me easy. What did to me? Ekufuor the Tina Ghana be the president. First time Obana hanky boninsa. Second time Obana no ring. Third time no kuta horn. Fourth time no kuta konya. Mumbusan say, why did he go through that? So sorry also en yankupon odonyame. You people think it's a joke, eh? We yankwasi for the power na nyame dia mamono. Hold on to it. More so for na more Ghana no. This is the time you have to intercede for your nation. Said they buy a chrono 2 million kodinko for winsem. Do you know what these people do? Maybe I tell you Sabali, patience. I keep telling you Sabali. When we do this, it's not because we hate anybody. It's because we want to protect you. We want to protect you. And anything that we are fighting to. Now let's say you me portfolio be good time. NDC bar power. What am I to me? What am I MP? What am I me? You can go through government. Me ko bu se obi aso obi amame ministerial appointment. Me ko cabinet me Jubilee House me ko hoda. In my life, me wura Jubilee House that I've driven past Jubilee House H3 TV3 ho. I have never stepped in Jubilee House before in my life. Parliament House, mintia hoda. People in power, Vice President Mihuni da. John Mahama, program in America, a long time in Ghana na Mihuno. Me hu Professor Nano Poko Ajimanda. Me hu Azedun Ketia da. Me hu Fifi Kwete da. Me hu 90% of people in power. I've not seen them before. And I don't even want to see them. You understand? So it is not about personal issue. Me, with all due respect, I'm okay. At least, a kromana meteno. My wife's family is worth. They are wealthy. And I'm also a hardworking guy. I've worked at Delta Airways before, at New York, JFK. I've worked at the container store. Within the container store, as a cabinet designer. I've worked at a jewelry shop before. You think it's a joke? We have worked hard to get to this point. When we are doing this, it's not for us, because Americans, they can fight for what they want. It's here in America. They live here. This is where they are from. At least, and them say they are safe. Say America and the upper part of America. So I've got nothing to lose. But it's about who now want to copy. At least we need a reasonable person to lead this country. At least Abanya Ghana for Dana Koma so Ghana. That is what I need. And that jargons where time where they are Santa for party, where I want for. That's not what I'm looking at. Intentions are done it him. Baumia, I don't hate him. I've not seen Baumia one-on-one before. I don't hate him. I just don't like the group and the party is in, because the ideology in our party is not an ideology to change any life. It's a property owning party. A Japadia fun a party a nipebi idea. But when I look at the NDC, it's a Congress. I can see a Northerner and he will embrace me. He will embrace me. Dagatini, he will embrace me. Kroboni, Santini, Fantini. It's a Congress. These are people who understand to say everybody is allowed to be part. That is what I believe in. Over America, I'm a Democrat. I support the Democratic Party. I have my reasons. And your personal, and this will be time will be no. It is because we want something good. 90% of NPP for followers, I'm doing better than you. With all due respect to you people, in Ghana, 90% of you, I'm doing better than you. At least my 20 stocks in America, it can take care of me till I die. What about you? But what I'm doing here all is to make sure, say, no etima tutunyama, ama unwato, oba unwato, no, future is, enye abambia, nipakoka krebi, will take everything. Now, I'm a fat. Then we live in the country and we are being intimidated and that is what I don't like. Because I have traveled a little bit. I know, I can see it. And when a government is trying to, I can see it. And MPP for jubilate here. Why were you jubilating? Because Canada, Japan, about America, or they make a court. Why were you jubilating? You were jubilating because Senka NDC baba power. Kevin Taylor Becca Sassi Sandy Pagini, Ama Ghana for 20 MPP there, and Canada, Japan, Umbra, Nameme Hon Chirme, begging $9.8 million in free ho, near family go to jail. And then I'm jubilating. Germany for, UK for, America for, you were jubilating. Why? Argentina branch way kind of crash Ghana. So you are an obstacle. Meneke Japan court $250,000. Do you know where I got the money from? That is how much I spent on my 4 Jewish lawyers. $250,000. You think it's a joke? My lawyers were taking not less than $400 a day. You think it's a joke? Then you just say things. And I say, if your man come to Ghana, Ghana 3 times. I came to Ghana 3 times. Do I have to come and tell you I'm in Ghana? Now me Ghana cry ochna. Me can't just about Ghana. Why should I do that? I'm slow, and I've told you young people, I sit before the camera every day. One thing I'm scared of is the camera. That's why you don't see my life out there. You only get to know me on this platform. I can be your next door neighbor. You wouldn't know because I understand life. I understand life. And sometimes, I am bibi munya butre monkwara na maba montiasie. I am montiasie. Obin time obia. We just want to stop this JB Dankwa Buzia tradition mentality. There are 2 parties now more enjoy today in Ghana. There are 2 parties in Ghana today. One is all about individual names. JB Dankwa, Dombo, Buzia. One is about people. It's people-centered. And this Nipa or T party JJ Rollins, they don't even mention his name that much. They always mention the principle of the party. is a party that the people, can't you see the difference between these two parties? The NPP is about individuals. That is the party. It is about individual interests. NDC is not going to get it right all the time, but at least the majority of the people's plight and worry is their worry. And that is the fundamental principle of every political party. It should be the principle of the party. It's a social democratic party. See a basic poll, see a yensu, see a solve a problem. That is the needs of the needs of the people is what the party it's the concern. But when you talk about the NPP, it's about names. Can't you see it? JJ Rollins na NDC. How many times? And NDC for Abbey Biaswa JJ Rollins. No, it doesn't work like that. They believe and respect JJ Rollins' ideology, philosophy, but they believe say what JJ Rollins has done a lot of roots, and the roots now are supposed to germinate. So as much as we recognize the tree, the roots are that is holding the tree. And so everything is not centered on that tree, because without the roots, the tree will collapse. Into the NDC is not centered around an individual. The NDC is centered on the people's and their plight. But the NPP is centered on the individual, their individual families and what they represent. Dombo Fonye, Danko Fonye, Buzia Fonye, Yananano Ahimfie, that is the party. So every time they come to power, it becomes a family property. And that is what we don't need to do, because when we allow that to go on, that is what breeds a civil war. So West Study Ghana, every time the NPP is in power, there's a lot of tension. Your chieftaincy issues. There are a lot of tension in the system. There's a lot of religious tension, because the party, it's all about individuals and what they believe in. It is not the collective good of the people. So when we share politics, I don't look at it just flat like that. Why should I look at Obiowe NPP Namentino? No. But it's about the ideology, what they want to do. And we have seen a little bit of that the last 8 years. We have all been witness of that. We have been witness to all these things. So why should I be here and let this slip? This is in our hand. We should not let it slip. And this year, money CBM. We need a party that will consider the people. The NPP does not consider the people. It considers itself. And there's some mountain stage. It's about where do you belong. It's about me jina stay there. So ufri hefa. Jina ha also ufri. Where nanabi wafase. Where that is not a party. That is not a political party. There's no ideology. There is no ideology. The party has different direction. And when you look at the NDC, you ask yourself, what does it represent? It represents everybody. It represents everybody. You cannot mention one person and say, this person stands out in the NDC. Where the NDC does not work like that. John Mahama today can offend the NDC and the NDC will throw him out. And that is the power of a political party. But it can never happen in the NPP. Look at what is happening in the NPP. So, Metzana Meno Kagana Wasama, and you're personal. I am not a kid. I have gone through the mill. I have studied the system. I have also traveled and I understand what tyranny is. I have seen parties that does not care about its people. And the NPP is a typical example of a political party that is self-centered, does not care about the people. It's about them, their tribe, who is leading. But the NDC has always been about the people. Their philosophy, their manifesto, their messaging. That is what we call a political party for the people. So, Mama Yanyama personal. Mama Yanka say Kevin tell him what de menyini chan. Mewu me na me nyankopon na ekokasa. I have the right to insult anybody I want to insult. I am a dad, I am a father, I am an uncle. At the point I made my brabo no, I don't need anybody to advise me. Nobody. So whatever I do, whatever decision I take, I know the consequences. Yes. Until let us put out this nonsense and look at the reality here. Baumia and NPP no, they no or representing. The NPP itself, they don't even recognize Baumia. He's not part of the roots. Baumia is a businessman. You and I know Baumia na Nigeria. You could see the greed in the eyes of the wife. You can see it. Baumia has anger issues. He is trying to suppress it. It is not easy. These are people who don't care. Let us get some things right. It is not always about attacking this and attacking that. It is about looking at the possibilities. A few nations in Africa today are able to hold on to their democracy. A few nations. And we are one of them. A few. So let's not underestimate what we have. Let's not underestimate what we have fought for. Let us not allow some greedy people. Most of these guys sitting on TV, most of these boys, Kofi Bentebuni, their life, they have now come to realize they were supposed to get involved with politics early. A mistake. Now they are trying to reap what they could not get in the past. See, from the beginning, they thought it's a school book it was going to make them money. But when they searched through Ekufuado's governance and saw the amount of money Samira's brothers made, Samira Wukudem's made, they saw the money Star Boys way they made it is now making them believe, say, if we get more involved, we will be richer and we'll be billionaires like them. So with them, it's about they realizing now that we were wasting our time. That is why now you are seeing them very, very much active, because right now there's a gap in the NPP. There's a vacuum. There's a hole. They see that when they feel that and we are stupid and give NPP power, their billionaire status will start from there. Because remember, when they were pushing Ekufuado into power, they did not understand politics. They did not understand the lucrativeness that came with politics. They didn't know Samia Wuku would be a billionaire overnight. Obi to say, Eugene will be a billionaire overnight. Obi to say, Jefferson Saki, Samia Asansoba. They didn't know. But 8 years now, we lost everything. Let me tell you for a fact. Samson Kujo, he was diagnosed of Parkinson a long while ago, right? It was there. It was the DDEP that triggered it. He knew. He was managing it. Whatever triggered it was the DDEP. You know why? Because his savings was swallowed. And let me tell you, that shock you get when you get to know that whatever you have worked for, all your savings is swallowed because of bad governance. And until at the point, you people were all fighting Franklin Kujo. Franklin Kujo was fighting for his life. There was nothing left for him to hold on to. A government comes into power, whatever he saved was taken away because of bad policies. So sometimes you need to understand people when they are making decisions, when they are speaking on issues. Just don't follow. Sit back and look at this person and say, where is he coming from? Kofi Bentebuni we a gap in the NPP. He does not have money. He thinks, the more he gets into NPP politics, a majority of the NPP people are illiterate and not smart, and Bawumia, by some reason, ye Jimmy power. Do you know what he will get? Money. That is what Esankoma did, and Esankoma's wife, NPP by power. Do you know the position they gave his wife? Did you ever see Esankoma sit on radio again after NPP came to power? No, because the cash cow account was opened, and that is what they are doing now. Zato. Onim say NPP ba power. Wachira dia all his life. Ka me betumato ontumi to. Young men or university ka o betumato zato ontumi to. The kids that he is lecturing, the investment those kids can make, he can't make it. He has seen that this is the only opportunity that he can also call himself a billionaire before he dies. That is why he's screaming on TV. It is about selfish interest. It's about what they will get. Most of them, most of them 40 years or 45 or 50 years of their life, they wasted it. They didn't make any money. They are now finding a way. Now they look at Mustafa Hamid. Mustafa Hamid has billions stored. Billions stored. So these people look at them and they ask themselves, how did these young people, we have been around the block for years. We can't even boast of this, but these young people. So that's why they are all tilting towards politics. Serious politics. Inti Mamika Bincho, the damage the NPP did to people, DDEP, and then affected Franklin Kujo. He knew he had Parkinson. He was managing it. But being a trigger, you cannot do what? You cannot contain it. And it was DDEP that did that. It hurt people. It killed people. Don't underestimate the NPP. Only a dangerous political party. And this wasn't part of the production. Whatever you are seeing, let me show you. Whatever you are seeing, my team send it on a system, send it through my phone. I can show you. This is what my team, they were sending me as I speak. All the things we are watching, this is my team. You get it? It wasn't like Yatna ni plan bibi say. No, it is because what we do here. It's because what we do here, we know what we are doing. We are not stupid. We understand what is happening. We want you to know NPP, no. Now we have not really started working. You're starting your campaign juma. Debi am catch Ghana for me catch NPP for say. And the Asama AC, Mr. P, Mr. S, let's go straight and jump into the matter. Here, my mentor Abbey. What makes NPP a dangerous political party? I catch NPP for the communicators and all those people. I make bin chiramo. Say, Opa say, Bawumia winning power. Only one thing that can bring Bawumia to power in the next 41 years. No cray. The only thing that to me John Mahama about power. No some no cray oka. Any yen no cry at the back, you know. That is the only thing. It is a wide junior will say 2026. What the atro and the we need power, you lie bad. Met me a tamini 8 months, me show. Maybe one day I'll dismantle everything you have done. I mean, can be being chairman NPP for. So my junior must say, atro any science and some number we need power. Then the next 41 years, no mumba power da. Me say some the atro na eba jandam na modia no. Met me a tamini 8 months, me show. The day I'll come on air, I will dismantle everything because it is easy to destroy atro. Here, dear, look at this. You see this story. This story was posted 2024. Sa story way. It was during Ekufuado's era. October 20th, 2024. And Obia, your friend of Citizen K, a posti sa a story way. It was a school feeding. In Kwai Basabia, Omuye Edema Ankwara. It is showing there, you can see it. 20th October 2024. This video, made it show screenshot it show we 2024 October. And Obi posti here, Omoko recording school feeding and the Kufuado. So as we sit here, there's an old video. You say under MPP, Bawumia Kufuado na same we see here. Now look at what they are doing. Here, Awa Mohammed. This is MPP communicator Kasama Bawumia. Wakofa video ninde and Obi posti. And watch then. This is in the Ashanti region. Tag the TikToker minister for me. How did we get here? I cover the same video that was posted in 2024. Wabe posti video no, and there catch Ghana for say this is a current video. This is the same Awa Muhammad Okar say Shatawale fans junkies. This is how they do their politics. This thing was posted in 2024 October 20th. And they Kufuado and Bawumia and a share video way. Na eduane omon faman kura no omon faman kura mo yankwase eduane. There's a video and yenina share in 2024 and then 2026 February 11th, right? I hope I got the date right. And then 2026 February 11th. Na wakofa sa same video no. And the way caption or catch MPP ni Ghana for say Monshe DAC. Adewe and then Obetra say yes, where Awal Muhammad and then they post you. And this is the same Awal Muhammad na Oti TV so Eka se Shatawale fans junkies in Ghana and a party that wants power. And this is a party that wants power. This is what they are doing. Bawumia's communicators, this is what they are doing. And yakochino niaka say you are misinforming the public. But Adri Biba sorry say his rights. Ukochini Sisia say, hey, what you are doing, you are trying to malign the government because it is not true. This picture you are showing is a 2024 picture, and you are painting a picture, misinforming Ghanaians and disinforming Ghanaians, and then come and help and or assist in investigations. Kwasieba betina radio say, oh yeah, Facebook lawyer. Abetina Facebook kakan kwasia some. His right is being infringed, and that the government is being we know you are being a tyrant. Change from the past. Kwasiafo. And this is what they do. They don't change. That is how they operate. And it's not they be on your TV so. And you say me it is because when I leave any gap, say me jai gap kitwe bituo, say me jai space be kakre bituo, enkwasiafo e be mo damage. Enkwasiafo be mo damage. And the senior high schools, the storekeepers are refusing the food because they have too much food. Senior high schools food supply and the school keepers say the is too much. We have too much food. We have too much in stock. Go to the schools and ask. Go to the schools and ask. Schools not rejected. Almost say they have too much food. There's too much food. They can't even store their own. That is what is happening. And this is politics for you. Way. Kwasi ampenyi way. Ni hu fi way. A very dirty guy, a dirty liar. Adiabechi join news be friend no multimedia. Na mo TV na mo friend kwasi afo we TV so. No credibility. Into okan semina on apologize say on retract it. Na kwasi afo we gugu TV so. Aden aye nyanyansa for mo ntina TV so biem. Right now we don't have intelligent people we can call. Now, TV, why should I call somebody who misinforms and disinforms Ghanaians to sit on TV? Now, who hosts and wage me? Who produce and wage me? That TV, don't you have a brand? Don't you have anything to protect? Or say a friend brand here way because the picture he posted, he's trying to tell Ghana for say Abina Jessica and Abina is not feeding the kids well. So me and my education minister, I will let them arrest him. And then he should come and prove where he saw this particular video. School band who say they were feeding the kids this food into unassisted in investigations. Where 6 months, 7 years, 8 years, no them. He needs to be picked up. Because you see, the message now they have trouble I could to be say abandoning feeding Korano, but it is not true. This is pure misinformation and disinformation. So I didn't kwasia we didn't matter TV say on discussing Ghana some abra every minute he gets he starts to lie, he starts to malign, he starts to put out fake news. Why should we allow this to happen? Why is the media allowing this to happen? Why are we allowing our media houses to be used as some platform where people can misinform and disinform? Why should we allow this to happen? Now, let's come to today's matter. Kofi Ofosu cancer. About saying 11, 15, or 13 in Ghana. Mongoda. Now, this issue, Abbey issue be a discuss or Ghana, Obia Kasa. And I've seen so many Facebook lawyers, so-called intellectuals, Jimmy. Now, former NPP CEO and rapist Kofi Ofosu cancer, formally charged with publishing false news by NIB, scheduled to appear in court on Thursday, February 12. I don't know whether the court case is going to go on or not, but the main reason here discussing ourselves with say Kofi Ofosu cancer, or to say Obia or to Ghana, Sabio wa we NPP niya, onko kan sembi a enya nokre obia bechew. Oye NPP ni oye Ghana ni te seme. Sa onko kan sembi a enya nokre o social media. Enko bie wanon kan sembi o Facebook, e wo radio so, any TV so a. Adenti na NPP communicators nyina yenche omo. Ask yourself that question. The issue is simple. You cannot lie and go scot-free. And let me say this to young people now more Ghana, especially Bawumia communicators. No, mamika bin chamo. I na one more video biaba. Sami jenfika away. I don't know wake away. Me say a woman any a wayen. They are two different things. So Obika Bibi, some time back, the way the person framed it, maybe the way you will frame the matter today is different. In your head, asime si ye intimisuma ye bi no sabio obia will be a fear of freem. Kofi Ofosu cancer kotena radio so. And I'll catch the Ghana for say our evidence. onwani party mumma any dean any NDC aban we bass no nipa omotua 100,000 omde age scholarship. The host of the show busan say uwo njina so ye frɛ se bra na be yi ano a obeba or say yes into kwasia be na te Ghana or say oye lawyer or say this boy's rights has been trampled upon. And when a car or Ghana say every arrest needs a warrant, when a car says no, who in Ghana educated some fools to tell them say arrest be or Ghana be needs a warrant? When a car says to this guy, what's na radio so what's na TV so I'm misinforming Ghana was selling news on engine so. In the first place, NIB Fonka say Kofi Ofosu cancer, Brani Mbunku, say bra. Never boye, na yankoye investigations. Ghana Brano so say police cannot detain you over 48 hours or 72 hours. Inti say our police custody then do 24 hours. How will a lawyer Onimi Nyansa on Jimia on your Facebook lawyer will go on Facebook and start writing nonsense? And who said say when people commit crimes are buying the right to arrest people who do things that is wrong? The government of the day should not should not ever think of allowing fake news peddlers to walk free. The problem we have in Ghana today, there are some group of men and women on social media, almost some lawyers, and they are blogger lawyers. Without controversy in the system, they are nobody. And they pounce on this kind of nonsense to become relevant. They are the people who are creating impression be on Quran team and then Kwasiafobo Ghana say, Udi Bonia, Enisa Bancho. Now they are creating an impression say, and they'll be do Boni or Ghana, Enisa Bancho. Masa. So Udi San Kwasiafo social media. San Kwasiafo no church or San Yomanyomano, and then the government is being unpopular. Why has this boy been arrested? Me say Udi San Koforechi ubedem. Kofi Ofosu cancer. Wan ko bien no anka sa asem no se o wongina so a anko bi befre no kwasiampe nanim nyanya se buntuo we yarefo we se nka wan ko gina radio so anka nkyere eye Ghana fo nyina se o wongina so eye ngina so na Ghana ban ebusa no eye ngina so na police fo obusa no eye ngina so na NIB fo obusa no. They don't need anything from this junkie. Sa rapist we Ghana NIB omo hia bibia mfiri no ho omo pe engina so na owo no na omo de achi nkofo no mudi sa abone na no ano no. So mo gu Facebook sa certificateless bloggers na mo lawyers na mo gu Facebook na mo na nkasa no your record say yakasi ya bomo record anka kuro bia so anka so mu dem na yagem license free mu nsem. Most of you guys, and I'm so disappointed in some of them. You see, we should not create this culture of making young people think that they can get away with murder. We should not create this culture to make some young people in politics think, say, because their party is in opposition, they are untouchable. They can fool themselves, lie, malign, fake news, throw misinformation out there and walk free. No, we should not create that impression. It is a money number so much say obidi boni one day Ghana no your NPP niya because or your NPP ninti it is political. That is stupid. That is stupid. And I am so disappointed in some of them like Oliver. Somebody like Oliver, when I came to Ghana to face the Supreme Court, I didn't think I'm bedroom Ghana no. Manka say the court is not powerful and that I'm going to stay home. I came to Ghana, I faced the court. You, Oliver, you were in court. What were you doing that day? You were either coming to defend somebody or defend yourself. Why didn't I say, because I was being spoken at, because people didn't like me, so I'll come to Ghana and not respect the court. I came to court because I understood, say, Oliver, in any serious country, now go to police for key to train and also go jail near your license if you know it. If you had done that in the UK and come over your licensing, Quebec dispow, Quebec licensing, near say jail, you know that. So when you sit on social media and make it look like everybody who is committing a crime has a right and that they are not supposed to be arrested, what are you trying to preach out there? Kofi I don't blame them because they are political stooges. But you, as a young man, at least you dear, you have been there before. And make a say, "Oh, told me a court, and you came to shake my hand. I told you I came to stand before the court to tell my case. I didn't try because I respect the court, because I know that the court has that power. Now, so you're a lawyer now with Dimbrani Dia, who is saying we cannot arrest anybody in Ghana. Kofi Ofosu Kansa has a right to a lawyer. Wasn't a lawyer with him? Our lawyer. So what is your problem to come and tell Ghana for say I Yachiobi, so the government is doing bad? You, Oliver, I didn't we are now go to police for if you police car muno. Oh, you know UK, kebejo license near say jailu. You know that. So you, majority of you people, you take advantage of the system, take advantage of the ignorant one, and you push things in the system, all because you want to be relevant in the system. I respect you a lot, but you see, the way you people are going by things, and then people like Kofi Ofosu Kansa say, they can malign people, lie in the system, and walk free, because everything is about emancipation, it's about protecting human rights. No. You cannot live in a country where there are laws. America, UK, almost started democracy in there, but today people have been arrested without even being heard. That is how it works. Baby, freedom no esino. Ehon obi die air den estati. So in the first place, we should not create that impression. All because Yako Law School binti, we will sit on social media and pollute the young people. I feel like you people are hurting the young people more than helping them. You are supposed to be telling the young people, as much as you have the right, you are not supposed to misinform. As much as you have the right, you are not supposed to disinform. As much as you have your right, the law says you cannot stay in custody for over 24 hours. Within that 24 hours, anything can happen to you. Within that 48 hours, anything can happen to you. So if you want to avoid that thing, do not even do this, because you have more options. Don't misinform, don't disinform, don't lie, and you walk free. So why do you choose that path? It is not like Kofi Ofosu Kansa, yeah, man, a lawyer. He had his lawyer present. So why don't you allow the process? It's a lawyer in him, dear. He will get Kofi Ofosu Kansa out. It's a lawyer, no? Onimejuma. Na se o intelligent. Na onim de he will get Kofi Ofosu Kansa out. It is not your job to come and sit on social media to make it look like, say, Obi Kuobi. No, you don't do that as a lawyer. But you people, when you go to the UK and the US, you don't do that on social media. There are so many cases, Amakoto Abrocha, you were not bold enough to do that because you know that your license is they can take it from you. There are so many things you people get away with in Ghana, all because we have allowed some of you to infiltrate and instill something in the heads of some young people. Emra. This boy, Ekrobia and Koso Dembe 7 years. This guy, any serious country, I was say Dembe 7 years. It's Oliver. You have enough bad record. I know how passionate you are about Ghana, but you are doing more damage to the young people. It is your responsibility to educate them that there are laws, but a wise citizen does not deliberately fall in the law. Argentina, we try to avoid the law because we know, even though law in the way, that is what we need to instill in the people's head. That because you have the liberty to write, to say something, to go out and speak, you need to know your limits. And that is what lawyers, counsels are supposed to be preaching. But you don't sit on social media and make that young man, no, diba umiechina, o chatro, o kikan something konfoso na embrani dia, or say his right is supposed to be protected. Release him. Release him to where? Then nobody should be arrested in Ghana. We should allow people to do what they are doing. Into obinya obibida. It has not, you have not been a corporate. So if people think it's social media as usual, it is writing things as usual. This guy needs to be in jail for about 4 years. This guy say if we are trying to sanitize the system, say yes Ghana na aman for beje imran di ebe respect imrano no mu say omo limit o kan sama also nyina so. This guy is supposed to be in jail for about 3 years. Yes. Into debia body dia no bia kai. Debia body dia no bia kai. Debia obi baby bios Kofi Ofosu Kansa o demo. Debia baby bios okay Kofi Ofosu Kansa. We need to use him as a scapegoat. He needs to go in for like 3 years. He needs to stay in there. Send your better young people, Ghanaians, the youth, they will understand and say, so the politician now to me. All that you need to do is to use the truth. And that is all. And if we try to make it look like Obi Kodinko Asasama, I was see about social media, near Betronyama and the likes of Kofi Bento. I saw some write-ups today. But when we are Kofi Bento saying how to fear no people boy you need to say we need to protect the person's rights. And it's not just somebody shooting your wife in the head. When people say things on social media, on radio, it is the same, it is potent like the same way Obi Abo Yitimutu, because you don't know the implications, the rippling effects. Yet to make Obi want some engineers when you are no shark on foe. So it's not only somebody pulling a gun. It is a Kofi Bento now, because the Kofi Ofosu cancer, I could transfer to Nipaso, I could can't some because of politics, because today you are licking the butt of Baumia and Samira. What your cat and Samira near no way Jimmy. You think you can just go write things? Oh, this is happening. Why is that? The man has to face the consequences. The advice I'll give to this government is that anybody, me, number time platform so I make sure I did be a make a biano me win so. So what follow me for a long time menye bosre muka adia me ngina so menka. So what study me production every single thing I do, my production, I have basis, I have evidence. So in the court from here, I can defend myself. Anything I can Japan back court, I was able to provide evidence to every single thing I said. It's why I'm working here. I also understand the consequences out there. I just don't sit here and speak. No, minimum the consequences, minimum the problem. So I don't do it. We need to educate the young people. Send out Kasama Baumia or TikToker. You can go to jail if you don't say the right thing. Sao Kasama Baumia or Facebooker. You can go to jail. It doesn't matter where you are. You better match what to. Yeah? Facebook, more fire. We are with you. We are with you. They don't care. Kofi Ofosu can say, "One na ju onim de ofem." On that, nakuma body bri. On you comfortable in life, from ender kopim so bewu. On you free man, his life has taken a different turn. He's never going to be happy again. So everyone want I feel never pick it up because of the deliberate mistake he made. This is a deliberate mistake. Or said that cause is a definite answer. Or see, you came, your frau sebe yanwa ubet me pruvi. And I'll say, of course, whatever you say after of course does not matter. Because that one it is up to the security agencies to deal with it. But you said of course. Now of course there's a bra. Nabra betchere na beboa ni anya investigations na wo baaye na ye hu sa wonsam na akademu ya hwerem e wo se ekosechi wo fie wo se yanti bi da. So you get a fool like Kofi Bento who is licking the dirty ass of Samira come on social media to say Kofi Ofosu Cancer's unlawful incarceration will feature in the next election. See stupidity. And ko bi na bo wo yiri trimu tuwa and anka sa nipa no ye ka chen say our right. The lawyer bet me about yiri or yiri ni nipa free court a police station and when you say it will affect the next election. Muna mommy use words there use no. So who Kofi Bento, if tonight somebody jumps your wall and shoots your wife in the head, that's a police of what channel. Nani panel lawyer be say, oh, you know he's also a Ghanaian. He has the right. We need a warrant. You better because some contractor say it will feature in the next election. Yeah. You write this nonsense. Now, Debianam Ref say you could also be at the receiving end. He goes on to say this: no one likes bullies and bullying. Even Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown when he became a bully. See the nonsense. What has Kwame Nkrumah's issue got to do with Kofi Ofosu Cancer? These are the people sitting on our TV stations and radio stations. Now, Kwasiabiti, I sorry say, Master remember ni me papa ni. Sa Kofi Bento. And then Aji, Akronfo Shia wo yire, Ochina. Monday, we yiri kwadwuma na kromfo hia no na mo attack no na mo body timu tuo na ade abechi ye che kromfo no na kromfo no beka kire Ghana for say me lawyer nie me war writer na obi beka say yes the armed robbers unlawful incarceration me hu de obeka. I will wait and hear what you say. If you are there bibi besi. Mojin say, Obie Jimmy, yet say, when it is politics, nobody matters. When it is Baomia, when it is Samira, na Samira nigu onumunti, and Kwasiakeka, Ubia wanona ukasa time. Me see, I am waiting. One day you become the victim. One day you will become the victim. And I will wait and see you right to say that thing will feature in the next elections. We are here. Kofi Bento, I am going to remind you this again. Me see, one day you will be the victim. The way today Kofi Ofosu cancer is maligning people and is being called to answer and assist in investigations. Walker said his detention or incarceration is unlawful and that it will feature in the next election. Maybe your wife, somebody going after your wife, your children, killing your wife or murdering your child. One day, say then you come and tell us, say it is unlawful to detain that person who will murder your wife. That person who will go after your children, and you will tell us, say it will feature in the next election. We are here. Let's pray it never happens, because these are the kind of things you people are protecting. Sankwasi somewhere na mu protect Ghana. Na mema musion si, mema bonin tu obia, na brebre na bonin tu, brebre na obishi tu also, brebre na obi wa sekan wa yere sekan. I hope it never happens. I hope you never find yourself in a way Obeka said, Obina odi bonin beka say I have my rights. Nobody can pick me up. They will need me see. Bompire say bibi santo because ada bibi sa abeto no nipa na obewo wo sekan na obewo yere sekan no mama ni nsi no sa nipa no beka che say or the right and that nobody should arrest him because or say nipa na de dey ba or say or the warrant ba. Then I will hear or see what you will write. We are okroma. You people think you can defend anything. Oh, everything should be politics. We should politicize everything. Yes, say Kofi, yes, say Maya, because it is about Baumiano, we should politicize everything. We have put a pin in this. We will come back to it. If we are sitting from until that, now, I am one paye, say Bibi San Tuobia. Now, the day you find yourself in that position, you better the overthrow. Now, we have done 3 hours, 3 minutes, but we have something to do. Now, you see the story. GRA. Last week, Abuso came for Samoa, and I want to say this to you people. Let us all be honest here with ourselves or with each other. For a very long time, I think, say, Ghana, Yama Abuso came for we or spare parts dealers, too much control. And it's not just under this NDC government, previous governments. I think say ye create adebia beto Ghana ma amanphobia who are in the spare parts business, who are making millions out of us. They have decided say because yama sa room they want to run us over, and it's about time. Sa de na edi show munsem ni ebeje from munsem. One, they are abusing it, and 2, they don't also want to do their part as businessmen in Ghana. So open call for more Ghana or more abusing tax system the power spare parts dealers, especially Abusio kind dealers. In Ghana, open in call for a group of people in Ghana, almost some your business or more abusing the tax system power Ghana or mutuminyam faswo at the detriment of Yenny Ghana for more abusing tax system now. Omuntia a lot of taxes are spare parts dealers. You see, when it comes to spare parts dealers in Ghana, they only make noise when they bring their things to the port. The moment they move their things from the port, they don't make noise. So what steady spare parts dealers, Abuso kind for one more did spare parts, especially Abuso kind for. The only time you hear them making noise is Omukotonyo manu wa bruchire. Remember, sika omunya no Ghana, omuye business no. Sika no omunya no, ene no mutumi tisana $1. Sisi $1 ne wo fom no, omutumi sisa sika enough. Ene kwa bruchire kotonyo ma dodo. Omu bedru Ghana port pe ena otis omuye dede. The moment ombe yin your money free port no, they don't talk again. And this has continued for a long time. Ama ye jai a spare parts dealers, especially Abuso come for Oma hijacking Abbey biya. And you see, the reason why they do that and they say, so Omo yes sanom de want to Abbey so Omo de want to Abbey so then they get to do what they want to do. Into businessmen and now the type of businesses our Ghana abuse here taking a lot from us as Ghanaians as spare parts dealers in Ghana. And I feel say yani politicians no yani government no yani Ghana for na yama spare parts dealers we take the advantage of us. Car spare parts is not a necessity. Senka your public transport system no stronger. Car spare parts, it's not a necessity. But the reason why today car spare parts are a necessity in say our public transport system from Titino has never been strong. And into car spare parts business, abe another kind of business. They are taking advantage of the system. Now, the Wubia Beto politicians so and created this notion say without them a political party cannot win power. Now, 2 days ago, me beka se mi kire mo efa abose kan for strategy bia de bia omu use. I'm talking about spare parts dealers. Strategy bia de bia omu use a omu de den omu de edupi Ghana for from the port so baby a omu ankasa eton mo nyoma. If you know the profit margins as spare parts dealers we omu make here anka Ghana for so spare parts dealers raise issues about VAT and nobody should listen to them. So when in profit margin they make so almost say ejuma omu yenomu nyamfa so anka omu nyina nkoma tutum. Ka obekọ abuso kan na ka stores 5 pe. De bi omu ka say Nigeria for na je ejuma na ye enso bekọ no mu ye ejuma. De bi omu ka say Chinese for je ejuma na ye so de bi obekọ ejuma. De bi omu ka say omu sika ahye enso de bi omu kra nyoma. Ask yourself, then now still running businesses because they are taking advantage of the system. And you see, say and society we are no, they will take governments for granted. They will abuse our tax system. They will be making money at our expense and without due respect. So bit on cocoa, say, so bit on tomatoes, so bit on yadwa. They are also part of the economy because doctor no onya inquiring. Driver no so ohia ko sedi technician so also ohia massa so everybody obi adwuma bi ahia but you see yama aboso kan for ne spare parts dealers no they have taken advantage of the system so much mam kan show if we are able to block the leakages spare parts dealers way or leaky omudi Ghana sika the amount of money we will make as a nation you'll be shocked. Our profit margins are like 300%. I'm telling you. Now, I'm going to devise another plan B and they want to start it now. Massa, so I was so kind for you now, but 20 years NDC. I don't care. Yeah, so some will swatch. And I was so kind for one 20 Ghana. Every sector biano, omomotonya mano, obusu here, the abai mboa, omuna dimraso. So I was so kind for they are not exceptional. And I'm going to tell you something today. Oh, that in Sensemi Abeya, person create impression me to say, abino, VAT be from it is because they don't want to pay their VAT. Oh, guta. Well, guta. GRA failed to engage us before proceeding with the implementation of the new tax rate. Omo boa. Aboso kan for strategy bi. Makaje se me be ye expose bi. Na dey na me expose no. Sa guta to aboso kan leadership no. Ghana for mo be chase omo out of the nation. Here you see guta. The leadership of guta obia ye importer. All of them they import spare parts. The leadership of guta omo nyina was shop aboso kan. 99% of them omo kranyoma. It is a steady. Every time biana they want to dupe us no aboso kan for baby bia they will go through guta and guta will lead the charge because aboso kan on its own is not that powerful. So because the leadership of guta no Omo enyina shops ewa abosuo kan they are making so much money, no. What they do, they say they go through guta and they use that to suppress the government. Send their quota, their taxes that they have to pay, no, because they don't want to pay, no, they quickly make guta lead the charge. And so technically, the same abosuo kind store owners and guta and they are championing their own interests. So they had a press conference, and on a press conference, they normal can say they are saying Tio, tax, implementation na, VAT no. Almost say GRA failed to engage them. But GRA I engage abosuo kaini guta. They have had several meetings on record. You know why they are doing this now? They are doing this now because they know they have to open their books. Now I'm sure you see this. Almost say, do not return old VAT books to GRA until a resolution with GRA is reached. Do you know the books? And abosuo kan gutafoɔ catch abosuo kan for say. I can't say gutafoɔ no. They all have shops at abosuo kan. They are telling abosuo kan workers say, "Yashembra or Ghana, the officers aba abosuo kan say obiambia no bukum. Ni anhwe VAT awotwa no. Omo gutafoɔ dem abosuo kan for no warn and say memo mu bie VAT book ni mu nkyere GRA for. Until GRA for aye the omo pay. Omo go to a resolution. What is the resolution about? The new VAT system is there. A young kid can understand the VAT system. They know. Now, one VAT system, now say, and I wouldn't your baton. TMA. Yeah, the new VAT tax system aba. What's the one tier? But you are selling. Into Nomana Wotono, say now what they are buying. It's a question you people need to answer. You people are saying, you don't understand the new tax system. So, one new tax system, Nasia. How are you selling? Over now, who trying to say? Who trying to 4% and also who trying to 20%? My angel book him say 4% and you say who use old system no. Now the old system no, in law does it exist? And in the new system no, say what my angel say won't try. I didn't know what tongue goose I won't try. These are simple questions we need to be asking Guta. And what they do then they say, I know for a fact, and me see, some number ready, so letter the show, Abra GRA smart 3 officers, someone called Abosuo kan, and ko check omo VAT books, omo tax books. On Sunday, they are bold to tell Ghana for, and ho, these people are telling Guta for, they are doing the bidding for Abosuo kan for because Guta and penny for the omo kranyoma, omo shops for Abosuo kan. So what they want to do is say, they don't want to open their books because VAT no omuntia. So everything they bring to abosuo kan, 100% profit goes to them at the expense of government. Now, I'm sure idea be. Almost a system, the new system, I'm sure idea. Now, let's start from here. Me and breakdown do ha. The VAT system for abosuo kan spare parts dealers has recently changed under Ghana's Value Added Tax Act 2025 Act 1151. The calculation works differently now compared to the old flat rate scheme. First, not almost be a friend old flat rate. Abosuo kan for they are not being honest with Ghanaians. May expose this for no more abosuo kan. They are good ones, but they are more criminals abosuo kan. And those criminals, they are in Guta. Now, old system, now this is how it worked. Before 2025 reforms, and to remember, right now, we have the 2025 reforms. The old system does not exist. And some questions say, if you don't understand the new system, are you now applying the old system or you are applying the new system? And if you are applying the new system, let us see. Maybe because you don't understand, you have done it in a way whereby we can correct it. Now, if you are applying the old system, a dear receipt the kutao, book ben the kutao, VAT book ben the kutao, because every VAT book you hold now, it's holding the new system. It has the new system in it. In 2020, say You are at Abosu Okan today, you are still implementing the old system because it is out. We have brought in a new law. So I also want a new system that's here. Nyoma moton 2025 be seen there. A dear system na mudi chavat. You want a resolution. Abose Okan, obi se nya Abose Okan. Abose Okan for you people think say you Jimmy. Now the old system no Abose wuntie me Abose for. Thank you very much. Who is it? Nkrumah. Abose Okan. Now the old system, no church the spare parts dealers paid a flat 4% rate on sales. In the old system, no mutual flat rate 4%, which is the VAT no. The muna na ewo hodada no na a 4% flat VAT rate. Now example, if an item costs 500 Ghana cedis, VAT was 20 Ghana cedis because of the 4%. So making the final price 520 Ghana. It is old system no. So I got to idea be buy na say 500 Ghana. Utia 4% flat rate na. Now to be ton idea no 520. It was straightforward. And you charge our system nimu. And I did a new VAT system aba. Abosoka was on Tiasia. Mamma they are liars. Good affording in our cranyoma. Almost stores, they are taking a lot from the pot. They are stealing from us. Now, let's go into the new system. Now, in the new system, you see this. The new system. New system, current regime. Dealers now charge the standard 20% VAT on sales. Example, the same 500 Ghana item now attracts 100 Ghana cedis VAT, making the final price 600 Ghana cedis. First, now a 4% flat rate. Now, the VAT system, the new rate, about the 20%. Into say, auto again 500 Ghana the bar. Now we have 20% VAT. It will go to 100 Ghana. Eba become now 600 Ghana. Now, however, unlike the old system, dealers can now claim import VAT deduction. In that, say ukotonwa diena. Na say what the one kasa the toswa. Now what VAT if you can sell it at a price. You ankasa after what VAT you can still make your profit. Now, this means they can subtract the VAT they paid on import or purchases of spare parts from the VAT they collect on sale. Into omoton adiana, omo deductive VAT no, any sa sikano mutia no port no, omo ria the omankasa ton adia no, then they'll get their profit on it. Uko enima, in practice, this reduces their net tax burden since only the value added portion is taxed. This is a simple system. And not too complicated. To make it easy for you, look at this. To make it very easy for you, let's do a breakdown here. Now, import stage. Make sure from time and yomana bedu, ye import yaba, abedu port, na abedu shopper, ye tong. Abosu Okan for, they understand this process, but they are not paying VAT. They are liars. Now, dealer import a gearbox for 400 Ghana cedis. In Tiafan say dealer will import a gearbox 400 Ghana abedu. Now at the port, VAT is 20% of 400 Ghana, which is 80 Ghana cedis. So total cost to dealer is 480 Ghana. So the normally bedu porter VAT na 20% no at the 80 Ghana ababet count. In Sia no at the end of koto no ako 480 Ghana. Now that 80 Ghana is input VAT. Straightforward. Because a 20% VAT na yedibe toso and the massa 80 toso into a input VAT. This is straightforward and it is normal all over the world. Now the second stage, dealer sells the gearbox for 500 Ghana cedis. Now output VAT is 20% of the 500 Ghana, which is 100 Ghana cedis. Now, customer pays 600 Ghana. That is 500 plus 100 Ghana. That is what the customer pays. Now, net VAT payable to GRA. Sika saying na nipa na okofa nyoma ne ba ne gearbox ne ba no dealer no or ton or the GRA. Now, output VAT is 100 Ghana. Input VAT, it is output VAT minus input VAT. That will give you 80 Ghana cedis. That is the 20%. Now, dealer's remit, and I say dealer no, the ebe 20 Ghana cedis to GRA, not the full 100 Ghana cedis. Because the 100 Ghana cedis, 20% of the item you brought. The 20% in amount 100 Ghana cedis, meaning it's only 500 now, at the end of cost now. About 600 VAT free ma. You are not paying the 800 Ghana cedis to GRA. You are paying only 20 Ghana. The 80 Ghana comes to you. I don't know anything that is so complicated about this. Right now, Gutafo Abbey Jina Hose, tax system na abano. Abose okainfo ntiasie inti almost say woni dealers omo aboso kai say supervisors na yedi ba no ba ni fansie ni. How can aboso okainfo etumia press conference na ka kire enkofo a wo aboso kan say enkofo ne ba se ba beji books ahwemu a ni fansie ni. This is what Guta is telling aboso kan dealers to do. Guta and the Guta catch aboso kan, because all that GRA is saying in the say someone new tax system where asia book. Let us see, because obiato ade wo aboso kan a was say yet tax receipt mano adentina momma GRA for officers no enhwe mu book nim. Do you know what they do? Aboso kan for 90% omoma VAT receipt. That means to say ade bia omoton wo aboso kan no 100% ekobubotom omuntua bibia ma aban. The moment a buying bebusa questions, some say you better wait. For a long time, aboso kan for muntua VAT. Aboso kan for they have been intimidating political parties. Yani aboso kan for some ba aboso kan for munti ho. Omon na ho. Majority of them omuntua ba aboso kan. But they have created some impression there to abide any abide team say. So we are near the pen maya yan to mount into they have hijacked the governments. But this thing has to change, because yen to mintina krum na abaye edi koko rechi, abaye edi bayire rechi, abaye edi imoli rechi, na yeti eyedien receipt momo, VAT momo, na aboso kaifo akofa millions and millions of eyedien spare parts. Na omo dia ba begu aboso kan, they don't want to pay VAT. E krobe na akoti ya guta etumi ka kire dealers say GRA esma the officers say omo books ma, you have to stand up to them. Where the government needs to send a military to aboso kan. Abandon and release police for nko. We need to demand. I was say omo bi omo nkratem omo nyina ye hwifo 90% of omo bi adwuma aboso kan ye hwifo. So munya hwifo munya akromfo a yate mo asem mo se mo per resolution. Na say you start your buying way, you start your fee way 2025, more crying your massa be do 2026. A old system, that means every single person has a new VAT book in their shops. Mama yensha books na dodo amati. Na mo apply ni saying. Ye ria ni ehu say, in fact, motiasia na montiasia ansana money GRA betna table hu. You don't want her to see the book, meaning you don't pay your taxes. Abose kan for omuntiom taxes. Now, from what I just showed you, Mama Chiro, unim the AC. Oh, I do when I'm the chiro. The third one I'm the chiro. Say, oh, sorry. So, who analyze it again carefully? The new tax system, no. The more you increase your price, the more taxes you pay. You see, the more you increase your price at your shop, say, your VAT percentage goes up. That is why aboso kind for no, they don't want to show us their books, because abroad 1,000 Ghana no, they are selling the thing for 3,000 Ghana. Now so to identify 3,000 Ghana, also to receipt to my customer no. Now 3,000 Ghana and 20% no own person obetua ma buying. Because you see, they have a strategy of hijacking their prices. Now, the more they have to pay more VAT. Now, because they know, said they are duping the customer. Because almost taxi drivers, almost truck drivers, almost air transport owners, what they want to do is say, almost receipt. I will say, and community receipt every customer. And then they be how are pricey omunyoma so kind. Because you cannot tell me, say, Yababu so kind. One shop is selling gearbox for 10,000 Ghana. Another shop is selling gearbox for 25,000 Ghana. And the 10,000 Ghana and the 25,000 Ghana, when you take their receipt, they are all paying 20%, but they are all turned to 25,000 Ghana and OTIA less at their VAT. That is what they are trying to prevent. They need to advocate to say the tax system, the VAT system needs to apply. Because you see, your Kofi so hijack system, Into the more they increase, because the more you increase your thing, your mano, oboha, a click. And I'm about to get a say, but to your money. Into my receipt. Sanka every customer kwabo so kind of demand receipt and kabu the best so kind. Because the more they increase their stuff, they are going to pay more taxes, and anything that they don't want to open their books. The moment they open their books, you know how much they are selling. And because they are not giving receipts, because you see, so are there at a reasonable price. You don't care giving receipt because the 20% VAT rate, it will apply. And we will see, say, okay, your interest or your profit was marginal. Maybe unya 200 Ghana or so, unya 1,500 or so. But because on person abaybe who say unya 10,000 Ghana, one product so, 20% VAT rate channel, on ma abaybe the books. Into tricking in say. Good for now would di aboso kan for him side demonstration we no omo shops wa aboso kan omo no kra nyoma ba me de obi a tax number ba be kyerɛw me de omo nyina tax identification me ba be kyerɛw nyoma omo kra ye their names on documents now fe wo why they are hijacking the government development. Inti say o Ghana now what to say Aboso Kanfo say they were not engaged, they are lying. 90% of Aboso Kanfo omo eden Aboso Kanfo omo ti TV so demonstration omo boa, they are taking advantage of us. So also the strategy is simple. The more obey increasing prices, customers, the more you need to pay VAT to GRA. And because they don't want GRA to know, they have increased their prices and they are stealing from the customers, they don't want to bring out their receipts. Because a tax book, and you know the strategy they do, Mamika even show. Now say, oh, Tadia, Ubusa receipt. I say, oh, receipt near Ochain. No, Oma 2018 receipt be no the abrow. Obi to me ba, onti a GRA for book name. Now, on one store, no, we're printing receipts. Near Trosso, Kevin Taylor and Sons, Auto Spare Parts, P.O. Box 38. Price, no atro, no assign, no atiamo, and your VR there, and a GR there. They create their own personal receipt. They don't use the books.
Collaboratively with traders to achieve a fair and effective tax system.
I'm going to be in Mo shame driver for. Mo amokoto spare parts mo po china mo ko aboso kan mumusa receipt hwe omaga se kokoko pe receipt akọ me say mo pa government no emfa NIB investigators iyokofo engu system nim quietly na almost start to say omo tonyama aboso kan you will see the government of the day, the CID office, Madam Lydia Donko, please get your men omo uniform, plain clothes police officers. Let them dress like taxi drivers. Momo musika no monko aboso kan. Na omonko tonyama. Omonko omo pe headlights. Omo pe gearbox. Omo pe clutch. Omo pe bibia. Omo started say omo demand for receipt. Aboso kan for be pamo mu nyina. Mopa from Ochina. You see, the reason why until omo Nigeria for ne kono say Nigeria for no omo profit margin no kitwebi. Omo no they don't care. So betuma ton gearbox 50. Now the profit margin 1% or okay. It's Nigeria for no oba obema receipts. Nigeria ni no because ono no opeso kofa more goods ba no beton no nya the peace no ko. Ghana for no omo hijack prices no. And because omo lift prices no omo person member receipt ema Ghana government who say omo wiaye. And it's they be almost sorry. Foreigners are taking our job. Foreigners are taking our market. It is because the foreigners, their profit margin is very small. Nigeria need a ton pence. All that he needs is in a month, obey to the pence with 20,000 aba. So obey 1 city oba could be also pay. Ghana need ton pence. Obey tina pence 10 50 years because ope ba could be 10 Ghana also. And that is what is playing out at Abuseo Kain. It is out to and the Nigerians are spoiling the market. It is not because the Nigerians are spoiling the market. The Nigerians have detected, decided, say, Ghana for are greedy. Ghana for are cheating the system. Ghanaians don't want to pay their taxes. So Nigerians no VAT no. Nigeria ni shop oko obeti VAT amount. Obeti will receipt amount. Because at the end of the day, on the more goods ne hiano, he wants to bring in more things. It is the profit margin here 1%. He doesn't care. Because so to me more the quantity in the door swan and then the profit margin the cost. And the interest the profit in the into on Nigeria, so obetuma kukwanso every week the yama bar. Now I better so any 1% interest. Or okay. But Ghana ni no Nigeria ni ko kwanso no. Oba ade also turn 10 Ghana or turn 400 Ghana. Nigeria in that time we go 4 times aba. Ghana need to one complaining. Nigeria ni no obeti receipt amount. Because Nigeria ni no e sika na oje, Chinese for no e sika na omoje. As far as the business no fluid or no obano obeti receipt amount obema VAT invoice. He does not care because nyoma okofa banene here a dosun, and the more you bring in, the more you make money. This is basic economics. But Ghana for no good for no Abuseo Kain for no. What they do is the nyoma be do anomotiso. Oba where 30,000 Ghana, where 7,000 Ghana. Why hearing your man so because of the interest boom, because onim se interest in your boom no on to my receipts. Uko busa receipt and buofu. Omo say ye pese ye bu some receipt pe almost say ye buofu ye ntoma aban no. That is what they do. So car dealers, commercial drivers, we need to start protesting. We need to put pressure on GRA. GRA needs to connive or collaborate with the Ghana Police Service, the CID department. They need to collaborate with Yoko. They need to collaborate with I was saying to me chini pagum. I was say from a Monday or China kono ya kani pagum na omoko Abuseo Kain no mo started to turn your money. The government can put aside 1 million Ghana. This is for Operation Abuseo Kain. You send 2 officers. They dress like mates. They dress like normal guys. They go in there. Oh, you pay yato, you pay gearbox ato. Oh, akwesi amankwa wobi. Okwa, you turn saying, oh, 7,000 me that's mami receipt. Oh, your ma receipt wa no ani akana shem kukura ne no ko. Mo ma na masa uram. Nam nipa 5 no nyina mate agum. Oh, yeah to engine was 60,000 Ghana, no problem. You be see a cash. Now receipt way, yeah my receipt. Or koti paper for be aba say receipt then VAT. No says me pay VAT there me file me tax. No catch say me dey file me tax. Okay so me dey me VAT pay kokora na na ko shem. Everybody will stand straight. They will start giving VAT. Why won't me nye adwuma no Kofi? They are just making money out of us. Omumuye just here Jimmy and omodo mo fra politics and almost sponsor politicians and politicians eyomo bidding more. That is what they are doing. Abuseo Kain for akronfo nkwa bebre ni akronfo enyo mo nyina but 80% omo ye wifo omo sorry a na matam sika na mo politicians ko precinct to eje into politicians we could do parliament no mo protect omo. So we need to start demonstrating against Abuseo Kain. Yeni etonyama omo pa omo tutu omo store nim enya onkwa ne ton spare parts. Wona wo hian wo ne hian ya bet ye ho be chire kakra but will be stable at a point no motutuma ya be ma Nigeria for like of anyoma na ba ya be ma Chinese for like of anyoma na ba enu nti na omo to so omo pe Chinese for asem. Me I don't agree with a lot of things the Chinese do in Ghana, especially China more no mempe. But when it comes to spare parts, the Chinese omo nim se Ghana for ni buye and nti na Chinese for na ba system nim. And into Nigeria for what system nim. So let us start arresting these criminals, some of them. And you're starting at Guma. All that we need from you is a VAT receipt. And one, I didn't know my VAT receipt. There's not going to be any resolution with GRA. And I want to say this to the GRA boss, Mr. Anthony Sapon. I swear to God, So obeye ye ni aboso kan for resolution. Now we now do we ni be see edwomfo ma ho. So obeje tax wo mo ho. Obeje VAT ade bi e be dwuma bi e be di wo no. Make sure aboso kan for bi obu books. We will send the cameras there. We want to see their books. This is a very friendly, respectful message to the GRA boss. You cannot let Abosokan people tell you, say, Guta tell you, say, you cannot go to Abosokan because they don't understand the tax system. They are crazy. Untumi fiwo enko kejetia, enko kaneshi, enko malata, enko tete yema amenom. Na Abosokan for sika munya na didn't be yema amunya. They need to sit straight. We need to look into their books. I will see who VAT no mo channel. I will see who do muchama buying. You cannot take government for granted again. Yeah, by a demonstration the Tiabo so kind for we need receipts.